Hello and welcome to Age of Empire, the 5th episode of the 9th year, the one we're having to redo because I decided to, not have my voice record. Yeah, that was
Well,
great.
it's always nice to have a chat. I mean, that's the main thing. It's,
Yeah. Tonight I am joined by Chris Mills.
Bonjour, everybody.
And Graham will be joining us later, but in the meantime, due to his love of the Space Wolves, his section is being replaced by Lehman Russ.
So, anybody who's listening, there is in his place a photograph of Lehman Russ on the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So, he'll love that. I mean, he'll come in and be growly about it, I'm sure, later on.
Oh, yes, yeah. But he loves Lehman Russ. Absolutely loves him.
Absolutely loves
character.
Okay.
So tonight, it's a bit less structured. We're going to have a bit of a discussion about 3.0, what we know about the rules. We've seen some leaks. We've got the stuff. We can have a little bit of a chat, and then we're going to figure out I figured out how to build an army, I think. And I'm going to sort of talk Chris and Graham through that. So, first of all,
we'll ask 10,000 questions. That's what's going to happen.
Do you know what? Honestly, it does seem, once you start doing it, actually it makes sense. But I think you've got to actually start doing it. It's one of those things that when you actually start it, it comes together quite fine. It looks awkward and horrible at the start. So what we're going to do first is we're going to take a look at the new releases. So let's do it. Okay, no point beating around the bush on this one, is there? There's one big release, and that is
dice.
No, wrong thing. Oh, of course. And I put the slides under the thing, so give me a second. Because I renumbered stuff, and it's all under the thing anyway. So there we go. Right.
Nope.
Go on up. Live production, wonderful. Saturnine. The Saturnine box set, £195 or 156 at Element Games. My local friendly local gaming store, Games at Heart, are selling it for 166, and I bought it from there. You haven't bought it, have you, Chris, though?
No, I should not be investing in this particular.
That's fine. I mean, honestly, I don't think. Okay, so let's go through what's in the box first of all. We've got in this box, obviously, you've got your models, you've got a Sat9 Praetor. I think the one with the power axe looks better myself, as opposed to the Thunder Hammer, but yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I just think he looks a bit more imposing, and the lack of tactical rock is a little bit cooler.
I think that's the problem for me. The tactical rock is a quintessentially Praetor war gear item, and the fact that the other one doesn't have it shows that he's not fully committed to being a Praetor.
Yeah, but you've obviously got options for this one, which is quite nice. Then we have a Centurion in Mark II armor. I like this guy, although that servo skull's going to get snapped off so many times, isn't it?
Yeah, foam is not going to be your friend.
Nope.
Putting it, because also that cloak billows out quite far to the right, so
it does.
He needs a chunk of space to go back in the box. Sorry, my voice is all over the place. I don't know why, but if I get quieter and croakier, I do apologise.
Yeah. Well, you were on holiday, and sometimes you can pick up bugs and all sorts of little.
I don't know what it is. Oh, yeah.
Then we've got the Saturnine Dreadnought. The photos of this look really interesting. He's like the size of a Telemon.
I think, I think he might be a fraction bigger, just because he's rocking the full mid-80s shoulder pad, as opposed to Eltel, who is sort of early 90s shoulder pad.
Yeah.
So bringing it down a little bit. It is a cool model. There is no denying it.
It's a very cool model. I'm just wondering how much he's going to be.
Yeah. That's
separately, because I like the model. I might get another one. And we know there are alternative weapons coming from later, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. I mean, how much is a Leviathan these days?
Is it £42 for a Leviathan?
So So let's just say 50 quid, probably.
Yeah, maybe.
For him. That is from Leviathan, apparently. On the Warhammer store. Yeah,
Oh, don't worry, I was spelling tarantula without the end and sort of like, how come I can't find it on the Element Games site to figure out the prices?
Gotcha. Oh, yes. I can't find it. Search the sword, does not appear. Levi.
Or you could just use Dreadnought.
Yeah, oh well, doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Anyway, you're also getting the Arcane Quad Accelerator platform, which is basically the accelerator cannons.
Upscaled.
Yeah.
Tarantula / Sicarian.
Yeah.
Gun.
But apparently it has a Marine in it.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So this is basically a Sicarian's gun twice. One of the cool things about it is, though, it's got the automatic pavase, the one that was supposed to come with the Deredeo.
The long-rumoured and dreamed of, almost whisper on the wind kind of old Red Book war gear item, automatic pavase.
Well,
dreamed.
It's in this. That's what it was turned into. So, to be fair, that does sound quite cool. You could like pop your we'll talk about another time. There's a squad in one of the journals who can like basically lift statuses or something.
Okay.
And it sounds like they would actually be kind of cool, sat under that automatic pavase, sort of giving out their. Anyway,
that's the thing was it used to create a invulnerable save, didn't it? It had a bubble, an area of effect invulnerable save. Correctly.
There was a thing people used to take their Terminators walking along with their Deredeo.
+1, didn't it? Or something. It's okay, +1 to invulnerable save. Yes, dude. The whole dream was the Leviathan and the Deredeo and the Terminators strolling up the field together with the Terminators just laughing off with 3+ invulnerable saves or nonsense like that.
Yeah. But
what could have been?
It's back here. Then we've got 6 Saturnine Terminators. What do we say about these guys? Is that on the next slide?
Boys.
Yeah, big chunky boys. I don't know. I think the problem for me is I don't like that the design with the salamanders with the flames. So I think I need to see it.
I think it's very late 80s metal album-esque.
Yes.
I think they're cool. I like them more than I like the big Dreadnought.
I'm the opposite. I like the Dreadnought more than I like the. But that's cool. That's one of the things about this hobby. We don't have to like the same things.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
They're cool. It's always nice to have new things.
Yeah. Two things. They've got 3 weapons. They've got either a fist, or plasma bombards, or disruption sort of guns. Disintegrator guns.
Disintegrator guns, yeah.
Disintegrator guns. Yeah, we've got them to think about. And then you've got 40 Legionnaires in Mark II power armor.
Just quickly, Mr. B, what do disintegrator guns? Oh Christ, teeth work, mouth.
Oh God, I have seen the stats.
Disintegrator guns.
Let me have a look. I'm going to have a look. I'm accessing. Oh, you've got it. Yeah, it's like
it's in one of the articles, wasn't it?
We're not gonna beat around the bush. There are leaks out there. We've seen the leaks. We're not going to link you to them because we'll get told off by Games Workshop. But there are leaks out there, and if you want to see most of the stuff, you can.
Nice to pay attention. No, I can't find it right now. I can't get into the thing I need to get into.
Yeah, there are articles on the community, but I can't remember if they actually give the rules for them.
Yeah, I can't see it immediately to hand, unfortunately.
Yeah, but you get a full sprue. 36 of them. I don't know if that's 1 or 2 sprues. But the thing is, with these disintegrator guns that you get, they can only be taken on. I think you've got a pistol that can be taken on like anyone with a pistol, sort of thing, except Moritats, but that's a whole other story. And then the actual disintegrator guns can only be taken by veteran squads. Like there's no disintegrator support squad or heavy support squad, which is interesting.
Yeah.
So only takeable by veterans. So 40 Legionnaires in Mark II armor. Was Mark II something that we were really crying out for?
I love Mark II armor.
You love Mark. Okay, I mean, I think I would have rather they done Mark IV first, but I get with them resetting the game to a drop site era
Yeah,
sort
that's
of
it.
thing. It makes sense.
Mark III, Mark II. Yeah, they're always they're the best. They just look cool.
Yeah, they do, to be fair. But I think I would have preferred Mark IV, but yeah, we'll see. But then again, if it means all we've got left is Mark V to do.
Yeah.
And I suppose redoing Mark IV. But yeah. So yeah, Mark II. Identical poses to the Mark III and Mark VI.
Yeah.
But that's to let you use any of the weapon upgrades.
Yeah, which makes sense. Makes everyone's lives easier.
It is. It's the funny thing, everyone was complaining for years. We need more dynamic poses on our Marines. Okay, here they are, but you can't really customize them. Well, that's terrible. We want more customizable Marines.
I mean, that was the good thing about the resin ones. To a point,
Yeah.
you could do more interesting things. They were an absolute chew on to do sometimes, especially when you accidentally tear off the fingers of your Space Marine while you're.
Oh, I've done that more than once.
Yeah, exactly. Things like that. But you could do more things in a unit.
Yeah.
To make them stand out a bit more.
Yeah, mixing and adding your own custom, well, not your custom Legion torsos and that. It helped. But by the way, that's the world we live in now. So that is the satellite box set. As I said, I don't think personally this is my. Oh yeah, I was supposed to get a rule book. Apparently, that's needed to play the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, considering the rule book's £44.
Yeah.
Singularly.
And 20 Mark II Marines, which we'll get onto in a bit, are 50 quid. Yeah, I think the box set is worth it, but I think it's only worth it if you want the stuff in the box.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the old guard, as it were, are probably going to look at this and go, do I need 40 more Legionnaires in power armor kicking around?
And
I can probably pick the Saturn Terminators up and the Dreadnought up and things on eBay in a 2 weeks time.
I find myself wanting to add, I mean, I was sort of thinking about it and I was like, yeah, but maybe I want to, I probably shouldn't have ordered it, but you know what?
I think for me personally, it seems like, I don't know, it seems like a worse starter kit.
You know what? I was thinking that I think the last one was better with a Spartan instead of the I think a Spartan instead of the I don't know how
tank thing. The
turret thing, and it's a bit. The stuff in there is definitely cool, big and chunky, but I do think the Spartan was more better.
Yeah, it offered you a tank to blow things up with if you wanted, and it offered you a transport for the 15 Terminators or 10 Terminators you got in the box.
I think it was 10 Terminators. Yeah, it was 10. Yeah, 10. Yeah, 10. Because I turned them into two squads for the Hitlists.
Yeah, it's a much better starter set from what you get out of it. This seems. I guess it's it's like for like, but it's not really like for like. Yes, you have a Dreadnought, but it's a bigger Dreadnought, and it's probably a ton more points. Those Saturnine, doesn't matter how good they are, I'm always going to want to take 10 Terminators with Thunderhammers over anything, and probably even in this version. Mind you, we don't really know how this version is going to pan out just yet, but it just doesn't feel as utilitarian.
That said, we do have dice, but we don't need dice. Really, realistically, we don't need dice. We've got the scatter dice.
Ladies and gentlemen, make the note. The note when Mr. B, King of the Dice Tours, said we don't need dice.
These are generic. These are generic. These are generic white dice. Look, honestly, if they were really nice, like I don't know, they could do these. They could do transparent red or green dice. That would be kind of cool. But Yeah, no, they're generic white dice, nothing special.
Stuck them in the bin.
Yeah, we've got a scatter dice, always useful actually, to be fair, a scatter dice.
Yeah, and these little tokeny things.
Yes, the little tokens, because obviously we've got statuses, which we're going to get onto in a bit, but that could be useful. I hope they're available separately. I would absolutely hate them to lock them into this box.
Well,
they've not said they're going to be available separately. And yeah, then then of course your templates.
It might be like what was the thing in, oh, come on, brain, Titanicus, when they did the War Master and everyone complained about the second sprue not being available singularly. So they ended up doing it singularly.
Yeah. Although, that said, they have already said with the Satline Dreadnought, with its extra weapons, that sprue is going to be available separately.
Gotcha.
So, and apparently it's fully magnetizable, which is good. Right. Okay. Yes. So, and you also get a transfer sheet of Salamanders and Iron Hands transfers.
Nope. No, you don't. You get a lot of Salamanders and Iron Warriors.
Iron Warriors. Ugh, iron. There's too much iron.
Too much iron.
Too much iron. All right, moving on. We've got books. Lots of books. The Legion, Liber Hereticus, the Legion Astartes, and the Age of Darkness rule books. These are £44 or £35, 20 element games. I mean, each. I know. You wish these were like codex costs, but they haven't said if they're coming out as an electronic book. But when the last edition dropped, they put the preview article out the Sunday after it came out that said they were to be available electronically. The Old World stuff is available electronically, so fingers crossed these are electronic, because I do not want to... Sorry, go on.
In this day and age, everyone does their rule books digitally. It doesn't matter who it is, because everyone knows these days they don't want to lug around. I
absolutely understand Games Workshop's reluctance to go all in on digital stuff. That's why they've done the app in 40k in Age of Sigmar with the codes. But I do not want to lug around an Age of Darkness book, a Liber Astartes book, and however many journals I'm going to be lugging around. I don't want to do that, and please don't make me do that. Okay, so there's not much we can say about them.
That's why players don't have bad backs from hunching over tables. They have bad backs from 25 years of lugging all sorts of... we used to have to take the rule book and 2 red books out with us.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to get down to it, if you look at the way they've actually said, oh, this is how the game setup is, you select the mission and then you pick your army at the table. I'm like, I'm not looking around 4,000 or 5,000 points plus these books. Not happening.
Tell you what, event organizers,
nope.
I bet are going to absolutely hate this edition.
But we are looking at running an event, me, Graham, and another guy up here. We haven't involved you yet, Chris, because you're just down there. But it's sort of like it's his idea. He's asked us to help, and we haven't done much other than get a potential date yet. So, but we were talking about, well, how are we going to work this? And for me, it's you submit a pre-done list, and we are not telling you the missions in advance.
Yeah, that's the only way I can really. It's perhaps a conversation for later on, but yes.
Because we've already had
this edition makes me think, how's this going to work?
We've already had our mate Gareth, who, as I don't know if you've heard, you know Gareth, don't you?
Yes, I know Gareth.
Yeah, dirty player, very dirty player. He's already said, well, we'll select the missions in advance, and then I'm going to tailor my list. I'm like,
yeah,
okay,
no, thank you. That's not how things work.
Okay, more books. These are the cheaper ones. These are more codex price, and I think £31.50 seems reasonably fair, to be honest. I think 44 was just a little bit too much, but £25.50 element games.
How nice it must be to get a day one physical book release.
He's not bitter at all. We get the Liber Auxilia, Liber Mechanicum, and the Liber Questoris.
The Knights Questoris getting a book.
And
I'm so emotional.
Not just Knights, Titans. Titans are in that book.
Everyone's got Knights and Titans around.
Yeah, these are £25.50 element games or £31.50. To be honest, there's not much we can say about the books. We haven't had a look in them. We've seen leaks, but That's about all it is. And it's a hard thing to judge a book until you've got the full thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
At least I think so. Yeah, I'm just rubbing it in, aren't I? And of course, the custodies are going to get their day one PDF. Although, I do want to wonder, is it going to be day one or is it going to be Monday? Are they going to make it even worse by making you wait until the Monday of the release so you can't play it at the weekend?
With a reasonable amount of time on their hands currently, Games Workshop were receiving regular emails past, say, 10 o'clock on the Saturday.
Hourly emails.
It might happen.
It'll be like what's it? Fat Tony in the Simpsons. You know, my wife says, "Where is the monies?" And why is the monies? Are you not getting the monies?
Exactly. Yeah, where is my PDF? That you promised me?
Yeah. We've also got journals. This one's interesting. £16.50, I think it is, or it's $13.20 at Element Games, and apparently we're going to get lots of these. And it's about 30 pages of lore and fluff, and three units and a mission. If I'm honest, the arcane journals for the old world, the same, basically equivalent of this, they're really good in terms of what they put in there.
Okay, fair enough.
So I'm hopeful.
That's understandable. It's good to have hope.
Yeah, but hope is the first step on the road to disappointment. It's contained. We know it contains a Scorpius variant in which you take the tarantula missiles and shove it on top.
Right.
Yeah, it's literally is that a unit of 4 Marines that lift statuses. As I think that's what they do. They basically buff units and stop them and allow them to take off pins and stuff. Gotcha. A Master of Descent, who is a jump pack consul who basically comes down turn 1 with his unit, and then every other turn after that passes automatically 1 reserve roll. And you can then deep strike that unit in. So, or fight, whatever. Interesting. Apparently we're going to get lots of these.
Yeah. I can understand that if you release, one every 2 months, enough people spend their £16 or it is.
To be honest, that's that. I don't want to say pocket money, but it's not bad as a price point.
No.
And
as long as the content's worthwhile, then.
Yeah, as long as the content's worthwhile. Apparently, every Legion is going to get one.
Gotcha.
As well. So who knows? Okay, moving on. We have the tarantula. I thought I put the Mark II squad in here. I must have misnumbered them, but we got the tarantulas. These were released before this, so they're out now. £36 or £30.60 at Element Games. You've got the tarantula, the normal tarantula guns with your las cannon, your volkite, your melter. They didn't used to have volkite, did they? Or did they?
You're asking me to go into a
no, I'm not asking. I'm just like a
place of memory.
I'm not asking. I just think the volkite's new, but either way,
I think you're probably correct. I can only remember it being las cannons, multi melters, heavy bolters.
Yeah.
The Hyperius.
Yeah.
Maybe Volk. Maybe there was a 5th one, but no.
I got to be honest. These look so much. These look so much better than the ones I have. I have the resin ones, and they look awful compared to this.
Yeah, they were from a long time ago.
They were not. I got them on the games day they were released, and I'm thinking that was about 20 years ago. So yeah, these are much better looking, and apparently in the new edition they've got better rules.
Well, that's fair enough. They currently have trash rules from a PDF, so.
Yeah, apparently now they use a reaction to shoot them or something.
Gotcha.
And then we've got tarantula missile batteries. Some of these, one of the Hyperius missiles are new. Not new. The Hyperius missiles are old ones. It's the Orius frag missiles, which are So interesting.
I wonder what if they're going to have a limit on how many times they can shoot. Because the Hyperius used to be. Oh, now I'm going to get called out for being wrong. I have a feeling it was like 1 or 2 shots, and that was it.
Yeah, I think it was, but that might have been like back in the old Imperial Armor book days.
Back in the old days.
Oh, I did love Imperial Armor. Those books were great.
Those books were great.
Yeah. They put all the fluff. I think they put them onto Warhammer Plus, but I think they took out the rules. I haven't looked at them now. I've got my PDFs of them still.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. So tarantula missile batteries. Then we have rapier squads. These are obviously we know and love these in plastic at last. £44 or £37.40, which, to be fair, compared to the old price, not bad at all, is it?
Nope.
Well,
not at all. We like those.
What I don't like is the fact that they are split into two different types. Laser destroyer and squad launcher, heavy bolter, and graviton gun. I'd honestly, because they take an infreeze, and it means that if you want a third laser destroyer, you're gonna have to buy a pack, and then you've got one sat around. It's like, what am I gonna do with this? I mean, I suppose you could buy 3 packs and make, but that's what they want, isn't it? They want you to spend the money. They want you to spend the money. Yeah, I like the armor on them on the crew.
Yeah, I think they've got a good upgrade about them. They feel they look better and they feel better.
Yep,
I really like them. I really think they've got a marked improvement.
Come a long, long way. Okay, next up. Okay, it's gone back to that. You know what? I think I know what it's done. I forgot to do something when I was messing around with it before. Give me a second.
He's going to press the button. Something's going to happen.
Yeah, we added the stuff before, and
that's it. We added the stuff before
because you had the new ones, and I'm just going to try and find it. I've got the journal. So why haven't I got the other stuff?
It doesn't matter, Mr. B.
It doesn't matter.
Only pictures of
a map.
A map of 2 maps, in fact, because they've gone map crazy.
Yeah, they've gone map crazy. Yeah, we've got 2 maps. We've got the Carta Galactica, the Imperium of Man map. That was £18.75 for a poster. To be fair, it's out of stock now. And to be fair, a poster for £18.75, a decent poster on good poster paper, that's not a bad price for what's going to be a small run item.
Yeah, I mean, it's big as well.
A meter by 890. Yeah.
2 meters square. So
yeah, I've had posters from being a student, and put the big sort of movie poster things in frames, and then
I suppose the only problem is that a uniform poster size? That makes sense.
Don't think so.
So you're going to struggle if you want to get it framed. You're going to struggle.
They always put them in really dodgy sizes. They never used to, but they do.
Maybe if you iron it and fold that bottom section under, it'll fit into an A1 or A3.
Yeah. We also have the Vengeful Spirit map. So this is one of your maps that you liked.
Yeah.
I like them, but to be fair, there was I don't know.
I don't see the point in this one. Because I liked the fact they were cartography of places, and you're doing it doesn't really work out in my brain, the fact that it's a cartographic drawing of a spaceship.
I'm not sure which
should be like a blueprint-esque kind of thing.
I'm not sure which book this is from. I think it's from the very last one, and it was sort of like I think it's sort of like the Vengeful Spirit was like merged with the palace or some nonsense. And
I remember.
Yeah, it was very confusing. But
they walk through the door he walks through the door, doesn't he? And he's on. Yeah,
exactly. It's all right. I'm on the ship. But again, I suppose it was around the time the warp was messing it over. We also had the Era of Ruin, a final book in the Siege of Terror series, £22 for a hardback, $10.99 for the audiobook. Sorry, ebook, or $29.99 for the audiobook, or 1 Audible credit. Have you read any of this yet?
This is an anthology, isn't it?
Yeah,
I haven't read any. I tried to over holiday, but I didn't get enough time to.
I've read the first couple of stories. There was one with a character who was like big in a few books, and then they dropped, and then we never saw him again because he's the vigilator for the word bearers.
Good.
And then he had the knife and he was going to go stab Lorgar, and they finished his story, and that was interesting because it brought in a bit of Fabius Bile.
Fabulous Bill.
And then there's an excellent story. I think Dan Abnett wrote this one. I can't remember, but it's basically the lass who succeeded Janita Kroll as the head of the Silent Sisterhood.
Oh, that's true.
And it's sort of like a story of her fighting. And I don't want to spoil it, but there's some absolutely phenomenal moments in that story.
Gotcha. Because Janita Kroll kind of got absolutely done over.
Oh yeah, but this
in the story when she dies,
this Sister of Silence. I can't remember. I can't remember the name, and it's like, but she basically takes on a word bearer, and it's absolutely epic.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, it's
I'm
a
good
really,
to see Sister of Silence get a bit more love. That's always good.
Yeah, it's an excellent story. Okay, and then finally, Enter the Death Volume 2 is in a paperback.
Oh, nice. I noticed there's no Lightning Tower in that anthology book, so it's clearly not a War Heresy anthology.
It's all
book,
new. It's all new
lies.
stuff.
That's what it is. It's not real. It doesn't exist.
It's all new stuff. Yes, that's it. Fragment, All We Have Left by Dan Abnett. That is absolutely excellent. And I got to System Purge by Gathorpe, and I looked at it. It was like, oh, my Kindle was like 30 minutes, and I was like, you know what? It's already 1 o'clock. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And I haven't picked it up since.
Sensible plan indeed.
But yeah, it's very good. Angels of Another Age, John French's. That's a little short story about a blood angel basically falling to the Black Rage, and it's really good. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to go get Graham, because he's decided to deign us with his presence now, and we'll come back in a moment. So we'll just and then we'll do our State of the Union, as it were.
As it were.
Okay. All right, we're back, and we have Graham.
Hello.
So we didn't introduce you earlier, but he is called by many the oldest man in Heresy. But I've seen older players.
Well, into the Peruvian future or something like that.
Being wheeled in an oak box.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's
the Nostrafatu chapter of gaming doesn't count.
Yeah. I swear we've had older players at Company 11.
Blood Angels, when the vampiric Blood Angels are actually vampires. That's
the Revenant Legion.
I think there is somebody older than me, even within our local community, but not by much.
Christian.
I could be wrong. No, I don't think. I think Carl is older than me. I think.
No, Carl is older than you, but Christine's definitely older than you.
Well, yeah, that's true. But anyway.
Oh, I don't know. He might just be 15 and having lived in Sunderland for that many years as a...
That's the definition of what we refer to as a tough paper round.
It is paper. Okay, so we're going to sort of have a bit of a free-form discussion about 3.0, sort of following...
Oh my God, we're going down the jazz fusion route.
Yeah.
Spinal Tap, this is going to be. So we're going to free-form it.
Hang on a second.
We've got a rough guiding plan.
I don't think I'm trying to think. They only went jazz fusion once, I believe, if I remember correctly.
They did, yes. When
Nigel
Tufton.
Yeah,
they've got a new film coming out, haven't they? They're making a new.
They have.
Yeah, making a new one. Okay, so we're going to sort of we've got a rough sort of guide here. Basically, links to the Warhammer community articles. Sort of. It's talking about some of the stuff, and we're going to sort of deal with that. But how are you roughly feeling about the new edition, guys? We've seen leaks. We're 1 day in.
Both me and Graham silently go, how do we say we don't care?
There's a kind of a rule here that the longer it takes anybody to answer that question, you can usually infer the answer to that question. But I don't know. It's hard to say. I think because it isn't an evolution. It's a revolution. I think so that's always quite difficult to get your head around. Particularly, bear in mind that we've been, using the same force organ, as you pointed out, since version 6 of 40K.
Well, since to be honest, we've been in that same force organization chart since 1998 when 3rd edition Warhammer came out.
Wow. Well, there you go. So it's pretty familiar, and then all of a sudden we're faced with this weirdness. I think I have some concerns, but I don't think that I'm the sort of rabid, why I'm just going to play 2 Shakes Fist at Games Workshop kind of person, because I'm willing to give it a go. I just think that there's a lot to get your head around, and
let me just
I'm not entirely sure And without playing the game, it's hard to work out
Yep.
whether these are going to be positives or negatives.
That's where I am. I
Chris
just don't know.
may have a different viewpoint.
I think for Chris, it's a lot more difficult because he doesn't have rules at all, not even leaked rules or mentioned rules.
Yeah.
My primary army is a PDF document for the second time. Possibly had more PDF documents than they've had actual physical rules at this point. So
no, they've had free books you've had to buy for them. You've had free physical rule books and PDF twice.
Oh, he's caught you there.
No, wait a minute. Were they a PDF at the beginning of second edition?
I don't think they were.
I don't think they were. I think they just were missing. And then they came out.
They weren't. Yeah, that's a great point.
I had to buy the Black Book this time round, second edition.
Yeah.
I had to buy Inferno. And then there was the
other one,
PDF. And then
there was a PDF
that nerfed everything.
The first edition 3 rules to get them toned down. Palaver.
Yeah.
Christ. And then maybe it was just the single Black Book.
No, there were 2 Black Books. Because they put them out in Inferno, and then they came.
No. I'm sorry. I mean, this time round it was just. Yeah. But I remember there being 2 Black Books and a PDF last time round.
Yeah.
So
on the first edition.
Yeah, I think they were completely missing. Same with Solar. Same with I think everybody except. I don't even think Mechanicum had rules at the beginning of 2.0.
No, they didn't. I don't think they did either.
I think it was just Marines.
Anyway, let's stop worrying about it.
Anyway, let's start. So first point of order, we have advanced characteristics. So we're getting leadership's being broken into cool, willpower, initiative, and leadership.
Yes. Yeah. So this is an interesting change because I think what they've done, which I can see being quite nice, is so let's be honest. At the moment, you're going to select a number of weapons that equal the AP of the weapon mainly, unless you're going for pinning.
Yeah.
So you're going to get AP2, AP3, and then if you have to, delve into the back of the cupboard to get an AP4 weapon out of the bag. But unless it's got thousands of shots, you generally ignore it.
Yeah.
So I think what they've done here, I quite like, which is on paper anyway, have weapons affect those different characteristics, which means, you can fail a cool check, for example, if you're being shot by a particular type of weapon, like a flame.
Yeah, I think rotor cannons, can they? Yeah, rotor cannons continue.
Sure, there's all sorts of stuff going on. So I think that is quite good. My only concern, and I'm yet to be, assuaged of that, is that it's going to take more time.
Yeah.
So at the moment you shoot somebody, okay, cool. How many casualties did you use? 25%, you say? Okay, take a leadership test. Or this gun or this rule gives it pinning, so therefore make a pinning test. Job done. Now I think it's going to be, oh, wait a minute, this does this, which is a cool check. This does this, which is a int check. This does this, which is a whatever the other.
I think it's going to take a bit of time to work it out. I think there's no point beating around the bush. It's going to take us time to figure it out. But I think intelligence check, I don't think I've seen anything that suggests that they interfere with weapons, but I think intelligence is sort of like...
No, but the weapons cause those ways.
Yeah, okay.
But you need it to pass intelligence tech to do something.
Yeah, but I think intelligence checks seems to work to things like Battlesmith and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it being a bit of a surprise to start with. If somebody starts shooting you with a particular weapon that you've discounted, but actually does -3 to somebody's willpower or something like that, right?
Because apparently flamers can cause you to break. Going back to Days of Fantasy.
Yeah. And, there's some good examples of this. Some of them. So Goonhammer did, I thought, was quite a good review. And you point out another one that was a good review.
Spruce and Bruce, call out them.
Yeah, of the Legion Astartes and Legion Hereticus rules. And they were talking there about some of the special rules that the Salamanders get, for example, which prevent, flamers being quite so effective, which is exactly right for the Legion. So I can see that it gives, by having those new stats, it does give you a set of different options. That means they can do more with the legions, if you see what I mean. They can, have ones that are particularly good at willpower or leadership or cool or whatever. So it gives them flexibility. I just worry about the admin side of it.
Although I love the fact that tech thralls have got a cool of 12. So you can just shoot them up with rotor cannons and they're just like, yeah, whatever.
Whatever. Yeah.
I think that's the thing that currently concerns me is, can I get through a game in a sensible amount of time to its conclusion? Or is it going to be
one of the things we do know is this is only 4 turns. No 5 turns or 6 turns or 7 turns. No random. It's always 4 turns.
Yeah. Which is kind of weird. And I think all the missions are always scoring on objectives.
Yes, they are. But we will get on to that.
But I think the only other thing I would say is that with, I think it will be interesting to see how it pans out. I mean, reactions also tie into this mechanic somehow.
Yeah.
Whether you're able to react and things like that. So there's other things in the mixer as well. But
okay, moving on. We've got tactical statuses. And these are basically pinning is in there. And routed is basically your morale. But you've also got suppressed and stunned. So it's like vehicle statuses on everything. And apparently this is what your weapons cause.
Yeah, and they are but vehicles can also have these effects on them, can't they? Which obviously currently they can't. There's no leadership there. So maybe stunning or suppressing a tank, for example, might be a good move on a particular type of weapon. And again, I think that maybe I'll come on to that, but that's also reflected in the vehicle damage table now, which is very different. So I guess it's going to be lots of tokens again.
Yeah, we've got tokens for each status. Which is, I like the fact that, they mention here that flamers are really good at causing routed. What is routed say? It's falling back. You're falling back from the front line. So that's quite cool that a flamer, which was once not exactly an amazing weapon.
But they've got the Panic X rule. So, nice.
You're still reliant on your opponent failing rolls and things like that. So it's not like now where, there's still, you can hope that this thing will happen. It's not necessarily a guarantee that it's gonna happen.
Yeah, but you know that some cheesy feck is gonna focus on one of these, and just you have a really, really terrible game where you spend all of the game with your units effectively suppressed, or so they can't score when they're like this, and it'd be like it will feel very unsatisfying.
There are what was it? There's a unit in the journal that I think has the job of specifically putting out a bubble to help take statuses off.
So I think some of the Decurians, I've seen the Sons of Horus one. Apparently, that does the same thing. People within 12, it removes tactical statuses. So that's also another thing. Particularly units coming along and removing those statuses from other units.
And it goes off the guy with the highest of whatever status is being tested. So a lot, and with more characters in this edition in your army.
Characters are a thing, right? We'll come on to those.
Yeah. Have you seen the stats for the chaplain? Or, roughly the chaplain cheat?
Yeah, I'm a bit annoyed because...
No special rules.
Exactly right. It's like...
But...
Currently, they've got stubborn and hatred.
Yeah, but if you look at his leadership, his advanced, stats, his... cool and leadership and that, they're pretty good.
So I think there's cool 10, willpower 8.
Yeah. So I get the feeling that his job is no longer to make them smash the enemy harder. I think his job now is to make your squad more resilient and to last longer.
I'm going to be absolutely...
Are you saying that the chaplain is now the Viagra of
yes.
Space? Is that what you're saying?
The chaplain is the little blue pill for all your Space Marines.
The little blue pill. But is he? the problem is, for me, this is a massive blow.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because I am a terrible dice roller, and so if I can put a reroll into my army,
Where you're having this conversation with Mr. Bottrell,
I know,
the king of the ones and twos.
but I don't know why. On the ones and twos.
On the ones and twos. So that's getting cancelled right there.
No, it's not. That's like hardcore, urban crap. Have you actually, tangent, have you seen somebody do that over the top of a horse race? It's very funny, like doing it in that style. It's very cool. But anyway, the thing is, yes, Mr. B is terrible at it, but Mr. B doesn't tend to pump his results by trying to get somebody to do a reroll like a simple chaplain, and pays the price. But if Mr. B and I both rolled dice, we would both be equally as bad. It's only the fact that I put a chaplain in that I get a reroll that means that I actually have a chance of hitting anybody.
I have noticed that I'm not seeing reroll in many of these rules I'm reading.
I don't think it's any.
I don't think there's anywhere has reroll anymore, does it?
Shred, for example, doesn't do a reroll.
They're all gone.
Preferred enemy, sit out the door. Twin Link doesn't do a reroll; it just does extra damage, I think. So, the whole thing is they have cut down on the rerolls, which
I think in general they're trying to cut down on you being too dependent on your dice and more dependent on trying to play with the rules more.
The most insane thing in a. Do you know what? Dungeons and Dragons doesn't need dice.
No. What I mean is, like, they're trying to instead of you depending
40k doesn't need dice. We need chance it. That's
we need to do is we just roll off, but don't re-roll.
No, what I mean is I think they're trying to get you to focus less on needing to re-roll and more use the things like panic and stuff, panic, vanguard and stuff more than relying on simple re-rolls, if that makes sense. They're trying. I don't know. I don't know what right, but it's just
wrong. I mean, they've cut out a lot of stuff, haven't they? So yeah. I think you're probably right. That is where they're going.
Yeah, I think they want you to focus on what the unit does rather than just forcing a bunch of re-rolls, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, but if a unit has a bit of, do that.
You would think that the cost of the reroll is factored into the cost of the model, if you see what I mean. But let's not worry too much about it for now. Because there are people like me who will just literally stack rerolls for the simple reason being is that usually the first set of dice rolling is so god awful.
What you're saying is you're part of the problem, not part of the solution.
Oh, I always have been. Always will be.
Also, one thing I do want to point out, then I noticed that was, and I thought, that's interesting. You don't re-roll for your morale to recover from, see if you rally or whatever the hell it's going to be called now. At the beginning of your next turn, you do it at the end of your existing turn.
Marshal of Signals doesn't have any special rules either, just on a side note.
No, he's got his equipment.
He's got his command of Ops relay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's all about his equipment.
I bet he is.
That's what they all say. So clearly the blue pill of the Marines is needed.
So what I mean is, if you've got on a turn and you've got if your unit got routed at the end of in your opponent's turn, which probably will be the case, you can't use that unit the next turn to score because they're not going to recover until the end of the turn.
I see what you mean.
So Graham's going to do that to me a lot. Shouldn't have told him that.
Oh, yeah, good plan.
He'll work it out, Mr. B. Don't worry.
Oh, it would have taken about 5 minutes. 5 minutes, and he would have knew.
I will. Of course,
tooth comb and go right. How can I?
No, you know what? I was. You know what? We take the mick out of Graham for being a bit of a whacker. But to be fair,
for those of you listening in Longwave. He said whacker. W double A C
K. Whacker.
Well, it's win at all costs. So it's W double A C.
Right. The thing is, Graham will, and he does it to me, and I've seen him do it to everyone else. He will point out where you are making a silly decision. Like, have you considered using this? Reaction. Remember this rule. He's not, and I've seen him do it in very competitive situations. So
he's not doing it to be nice to you. He's doing it to show dominance. That's what it is.
My
he's
friends.
He's doing it to tell you. I know the rules.
So basically, what you're saying is I do that when I know I've already won.
Yeah.
It's easy.
No,
It's easy.
no.
Magnanimous when you're already winning.
No, in all seriousness, Graham, you do it often with anybody in any situation. There's no, you're not that mean a player.
I've got an example of somebody when way back in the midst of the 90s, we used to play Magic the Gathering when it first came out, and we all used to play. And our friend Simon, which Chris will know, was very, very good at this game. But he would basically just sort of set you up exactly like that. He would just sort of go, right, there's that, and he would just walk off, and everybody's like, he's won again, is he? All right, fair enough. Nothing you could do. It was kind of like a really annoying thing to do. But again, magnanimous in victory was definitely very much pointing out your mistakes.
Okay, so moving on to weapons. I think this is one where I think a lot of people got initially very confused, but then actually it makes a bit more sense when you read into it. So we've got new profiles on all the weapons.
Yeah.
And we got different profiles for ranged and melee weapons.
Yeah.
And completely different names for half the stats.
Yeah, and again, I think they've expanded this out a bit so they can add more modifiers to them. So, yes, now you've got range, which obviously is how far away it is, firepower,
how many
shots it gets. So previously it would be, like heavy 2 or whatever. Range strength, so which was strength, obviously. Armor penetration, same as it before.
Damage.
But damage is
taken straight from 40k.
Yeah. But you can modify the damage, And I think there's a rule. The rule heavy now means if you stay still and shoot, it's like heavy D.
No. Yeah, it's done that. But if you've got a heavy bolter, that has heavy FP, so that actually increases your firepower by 1.
Yeah. So it's interesting. And again, you have to look at your weapons very, very carefully and not sure they did what they did last edition because they really don't.
No.
The disintegrator is a thing. I suspect a lot of people are going to be using that. They said that's very good.
Oh, yeah, there's the stats. Me and Chris were talking about that earlier. Firepower 1, strength 4, AP 3, yeah. Damage 2.
Yeah, but it's got I don't know what the disintegrator rule is, but that probably would. Because instant death's gone as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, instant death is gone, yeah. Which I like.
What's poor old Valdor going to do now? And his lovely Custodes. Because they were all about the instant death 4+.
Some of them were.
I think they're going to be high wounds. They'll be high wounds.
The Heteron and...
Sorry, high D.
Yeah, that's it. The Heteron were.
Yeah.
The other guys got that stripped out of them from first to second.
Gotcha. So, but I think overall, they're not a massive step away. They just put them slightly differently. I mean, they're still fundamentally the same stats. You might get brutal 3, for example, but now it'd just be D3.
Yeah.
Melter guns look like they've got a nice upgrade there. So if you've got they've got damage 3 normally. So that's going to kill a Space Marine or even a Terminator, right? But then you've got Melter 6. So what happens with these guys is if they're within 6 inches, which is, not half range anymore. What's the range? 12. Oh, so it's half range.
It's half range.
Yeah. You double your damage, which goes to 6. So a single melter gun can knack a predator.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I mean, technically it could anyway, but you had to, you were fishing. Well, you weren't fishing. You had a 1 in 3 chance of blowing a tank up on the armor penetration roll.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah,
but
so
that's interesting, isn't it? But I suppose the thing is, it doesn't make the strength of the weapon any stronger, right? So it doesn't matter how close you are, if you shoot them with a melter gun against a land raider, you still need 6s, and you can only glance it. If you see it, so they're not actually effective as they used to be in that regard. They can't take down super heavies or whatever. They can just do a glancing hit or 6 glancing hits, which I suppose would probably.
Does the melter not give them? Oh, we'll come around to it. But melee weapons, they
grant, it's basically grants armor bane within 6. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Maybe armor bane does. Yeah,
yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking there.
Yeah, makes sense.
We'll see.
Rules.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got our.
Do you want to know what the armor bane rule is?
Go for it.
A weapon with the armor being special rule counts glancing hits as penetrating hits.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
But you still need 6s in that case.
A weapon with this special rule can never inflict a glancing hit, and any rule that would force them to do so instead inflicts a penetrating hit.
Penetrating hits take off hull points, if I remember correctly. So
glancing hits do status effects.
Yes,
and glancing hits do statuses. So you can still hurt. So you can take it out with some melter guns.
Can you? I think we'll have to look into it. I'll have a look at vehicle damage.
Well, that's the point. We don't. Yeah, when we get to vehicle damage, we don't have all the rules in front of us. I know there are leaks out there which give the majority of the rules, but I still think it's hard to judge until you've got it in your hand, and it's easier to put it in context.
Currently, it would look like you can only glance, or you can. No, you're right. You could take it out because if you've got a 6, but you would need a 6 to do it.
But if you've got a squad of melter support guys,
10-man squad or whatever,
yeah.
No, definitely.
Okay,
you don't need one of those or 2 of those 6s.
Yeah,
would basically be enough.
Yeah. So moving on to melee weapons, they've got initiative modifiers this time, attack modifiers, and strength modifiers.
So you've got unwieldy basically, and so
attack modifiers will change your how many attacks, because each Space Marine gets however many attacks it's got, but the attack modifier can, I think they were saying paired weapons. I don't know of any paired weapons.
They don't exist anymore. I don't think you get +1. You don't get +1.
Maybe like pair of lightning claws. Would a pair of lightning claws be a paired weapon?
I don't know. As far as I was aware, like the old rules that have been with us forever, i.e., pistol and close combat weapon equals +1 attack are out.
Yeah, but not anymore.
And you don't get +1. You don't get +1 attacks on the charge either.
Yeah, but you've got something else. That's the volley fire, but
yeah. So power fists are interesting because they're not unwieldy. They're initiative -3. So if you've got initiative of 6, you'd be going at initiative 3, which is no bad thing if you're going up against Terminators at initiative potentially 1. So yeah, I think that's quite sensible.
Why would the Terminators be going at initiative 1?
Because Terminators would have, if they were using power fists.
Yeah, in the current edition.
Assuming that they've got the same initiative as 4, they would be going at initiative step 1.
Yeah.
Whereas if you were a Praetor with a power fist, you'd be taking 3 of your initiative, which is 5.
Oh, I see.
And going at initiative step 2.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, so Praetors are just better at fighting. Well, not better at fighting, but they're able to react better.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, that's an interesting little change. And again, I mean, power fists now do 2 damage, which makes them quite useful.
Yeah. Okay, so weapons. Everyone gets their basic close combat weapon. It's interesting. The one that I'm not looking forward to is the challenges, which we're sort of moving on to now. Because this seems like to me, I'm looking at it and I'm like, is this basically a card game? Are we playing like a game of Gwent in the middle of a
Yeah, this I must admit, this I'm less keen on.
Yeah,
because it's got tar, molasses written all over it. It's just going to take forever. I think. I mean, I know the game designers are saying, no, it's 5 minutes. You'll get out of it. It's all good. It's fine.
I think we will. Once we've got the hang of it and we know what gambits we like, it will be all right. But
yeah, I don't know. I'm struggling to get my head around it. I mean, I suppose it makes it, from their point of view, more themey. Maybe.
It definitely makes it more themey.
But, I don't know. I'm not convinced, to be honest with you. I mean, there's about 14 steps to combat anyway, so I have no idea.
I don't want to spend too much time thinking on this. I think this is something we can dedicate a whole episode to at some point when we figure it out. But interestingly, each legion and each army gets their own gambit.
Yeah. And again, you basically choose your gambit for their champion. I don't know whether you have to sort of do it secretly and have to have it on some sort of card. I don't know. Are they releasing any kind of cards for this?
I hope so. Gambit cards would be great.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
But I don't know whether you have to sort of, more Gwent, but basically you put yours down, they'd put theirs down, and that's how you do it. Or do you have to say in advance which one you're using? I don't know. But I'm not sure.
I'm just thinking.
I think you choose your gambit at the challenge phase.
Did we not, when we previously conversed, have an illicit document that described how challenges work?
Yes, we do. I'm still not entirely up to speed with it. I get it. Basically, you choose a gambit, you do a roll to see who is going to go first.
Roll, isn't it?
Yeah. And then
the focus roll. Okay.
And then you can end up, like, if your character is wounded, you might be going last. Or if you've got heavy armor, you might be going later. It's sort of like various different alterations. So it's like picking a gambit and and then you're rolling your focus, and the focus might and you might have
it's B6 plus your initiative, and then the modifiers from gambits, war gear, special rules, or support of nearby troops.
Yeah, like I can see seize the initiative being a very popular gambit because you've got an extra dice in there.
Yeah.
So
we all know that we need as many dice as we can get our hands.
Yeah, that's one of the few ways where you get an extra dice, you discard the lowest. So I think that's going to be a popular one.
So how the selecting of the gambits works is once the challenge has been accepted, the challenger and challenged have been moved to one side. So I've got to take them out of the combat. Okay.
Yep.
Don't keen on that. Controlling player of each model may select one gambit.
To be fair,
that will be applied to the model.
It's been common for me forever with Warhammer 40k, where we have a challenge. Well, I mean, obviously not these days because you don't have challenges in 10th edition, but you always pick the character out and put them next to each other.
Okay.
I don't know if and that is definitely something I've done with you, Graham, where we put our characters who are challenging each other next to each other.
We always do that. We always do that.
It's almost like a narrative, right? I'm going straight for you, you nutter.
I've always done that, to be honest with you, because you can just see that it's not, so you don't forget it, basically. It's the only reason. Yeah. Otherwise, I would just...
in the first round of any challenge, the controlling player of the challenger selects the first gambit. In every round of a challenge after the first, the player that has the challenge advantage, Christ, like tennis, selects the first gambit. Once the player selects a gambit, the player applies any of the benefits or limitations before the opposing player selects a gambit. What? Okay.
I think that the problem is, and I with this rule set is, I think what they've tried to do is write a rule set, and you know who I'm talking about, that certain players can't spend 45 minutes arguing over the placement of an apostrophe. They are making this. They are making this as tight as possible.
Gambit. That player applies any benefits and limitations before the opposing player selects a gambit. However, if the selected gambit's effects are contradictory to what, then the gambit selected by the player with the challenge advantage takes precedence, or if no player has a challenge advantage, then the gambit selected by the active player takes precedence.
Right, so what they're saying is basically if you've got a gambit that says I -1 to your thing or and I +1 to it, it's whoever's got advantage gets it and you discard the other one. I think that's what it's saying there.
Yeah.
It does feel like a card game.
No, that once the gambit has been selected, no other models in the challenge may select the same gambit in the same face-off step. If the challenge lasts for more than one pass through the challenge process, choice. No, if the challenge lasts for more than one pass through of the challenge process, choices made in one face-off step do not limit choices in any additional face-off steps. Once all models have had a single gambit selected, or their controlling player has chosen not to select a gambit, the face-off step ends, and the players move on to the focus step. Christ, that's one step.
Gee, I've played quicker games.
Again, I really do think once we've got it, it'll flow easier, but it's getting.
I'm just going to sit back and shoot.
Flurry of blows. I choose you.
Yeah, exactly.
A wild finishing blows appears.
I think, Graham, what we're going to have to do when we have our first game, like limit to 1,500 or something, is purposely have a challenge or two to try and learn this.
Just stand there, have a Primarch each, and just.
I'm going to do my best to avoid challenges, but then I'd like to do my best to avoid close combat altogether.
I think they can be very powerful. I mean, they can get rid of the other person's characters, right?
Yes,
I mean,
they can. And characters are very important in this edition, I think.
And I think also, I don't know whether there's the Chosen Warrior thing going on, whether other...
No.
Because that I think diluted the value.
Yeah,
of challenges,
I know that what they've done is in terms of I can't remember. It's not Chosen Warrior that does that. Like when you have the Caesarean and used to be able to pass the wounds around.
Oh, that was if they had the character.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore with a lot of squads. I think they've sort of stopped that. Yeah,
there was definitely a lot of people in the Emperor's Children who loved that as a tactic, mentioning no names. But I never did it with the Caesarean, and I wouldn't.
No, that's fair. You said it was. You said it was. I can't repeat it. It's a swear word. Okay, right. Shall we go on to vehicles? Because I think we all like vehicles.
Some of us more than others.
Yes, Graham.
Okay, so new vehicles, new rules, new.
They still have facings. Sorry,
they do still have facings. Which, I wouldn't have cried if they'd lost facings, to be honest with you. I know people were like, oh my God, that's like, but, I wouldn't have bothered me too much.
Honestly, it does simplify things in 40k, but at the same time, they also can fire from any point on the model. So let's not necessarily go for 40k.
Yeah. So, same as last time. Basically, if you equal the armor value, it's a glancing hit. If you exceed the unbalanced penetrating hit. Previous editions, glancing hits don't automatically strike off a whole point, which is what used to happen. It said you get to roll a table to inflict a random tactical status. So impaired sensors, broken motors, and weapon damage, which fundamentally map to stunned, pinned, and suppressed.
Yeah, but the thing is about the weapon damaged, you get the suppressed status, but you can lose that status because you got repair tests.
Yeah, and again, if you have something that comes along and removes all of the
impacted,
then you would get rid of them. So, but I mean, things that don't happen is weapons don't get destroyed.
Yeah,
which isn't, because that's the only damage table there is. There is no further damage table. There's no penetrating hit damage table. You basically, if you glance, you get an effect. If you penetrate, they take the damage, which I quite like, because there is nothing more depressing than seeing your tank get lucky las shotted from across the board.
I've always asked, why do my Spartans never last more than one turn? That's because I'm playing Graham, but that's not the point. But
that's because you do stupid things with them, like drive at the las hunters, or leave them out in the open with a big flag on them saying, "Please shoot me to death first," or build an army with nothing else worth shooting except that one Spartan. So there's just 3 examples of why they probably die a lot.
Just 3
off the top of my head. So yes. Anyway,
and you have good target priority.
Yes. So I think, and again, the vehicles have got a lot more hull points, but then that actually kind of cancels out because a lot of things have got multiple damage. Las cannons, I think, if they don't move it, they do 2 damage.
Yes,
rather than 1 damage. So but again, it does say here. Yeah, so glancing hits, if we talked about the melter rule, armor vein rule, basically mean glancing hits count as penetrating hits. But they would just take the whole points off. They wouldn't do any status effects.
Yeah. So it's sort of like, is it better to lose a whole point or take a glancing hit?
Yeah, I mean, I think a glancing hit would be better because I don't know if these statuses or how long they last, but I'm assuming for 1 round, or unless they stay.
Yeah, you've got your repair sub-phase, but I don't know when that happens. I assume it happens at the end of the turn, like the morale check, but I haven't seen yet.
I mean, it's interesting also, if the model does already have a specific status, would have the status applied to them again,
it loses a whole point.
Then they lose a whole point instead.
Yeah. So a lot.
You can glance things technically by just, assuming that 1 in 3 times you're going to get the same result twice.
Yeah. So glancing hits will still hurt, but it's going to take a bit more.
Yeah.
So it means I think you're going to have to choose the weapons that you choose to fire at vehicles a lot more carefully.
So yeah, and unlike like I say, unlike who can test on their fancy new characteristics to remove stasis, vehicles make a repair test in the status subphase. There's another subphase, Chris, coming up. Woohoo! Or be repaired by specialists like tech marines.
Oh, status subphase. Yeah, that's at the end of the turn. So that's at the end of the turn where
I'm guessing if you don't make
your
the
morale
repair
check.
test, it stays on. So if you've got impaired sense, if you're stunned, you stay stunned unless you make the repair test.
Yeah, at the end of the turn.
Yeah.
So you've got to have one turn with it knackered.
I see what you mean. And it's in your turn. So if you put the status on the vehicle in when I was shooting at it, that would, in its turn, it would be stunned if that was the result that I got. And then they get a chance to fix it.
Yeah, so you will always benefit from doing a glancing hit.
Yeah.
That seems okay. Yeah, that seems cool.
They also go on to Knights and Titans in there as well.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they've changed the Titans quite a bit, which do look like they're a lot more fun, actually, and a bit more Legion Imperialis, where you don't shoot just the Titan, you shoot the body parts of the Titan. So you've got head, carapace, arms, legs, all with different armor values, all with different hit points.
Yeah.
Which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah. There's a lot more to discuss on Titans later because there's a specific article about them.
Okay, cool. But I think they could actually see a return to the battlefield.
I definitely think so. They become a lot more. Apparently Titans have been selling like hotcakes since the Titan article came out the other day.
Okay, cool. All right. Let's move on then.
All right, so we got the two of the new units, Saturnine Terminators. So it will not spend too long on these, but I've got a data sheet for the Praetor and the Terminator. So what do you guys think of these? As in, have you guys had a chance to look at these rules yet? Or,
I mean, they are slow and purposeful in every sense. They've got a movement of 5.
Yeah.
Toughness is 6, though.
Yeah. 3 wounds as well.
Yeah, 3 wounds.
Initiative 3.
Yeah, so not the quickest in close combat, but then you're probably going to take some sort of power fisty thing on it, which will give them initiative 1 anyway, or 0. I don't know.
I'd like to know how they equate to Cataphracti.
They've got a Saturnine Disruption Fist, which is initiative modifier -2.
Okay, so still initiative 1 then. Okay,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, Chris, how they compare with Cataphracti, because Cataphracti used to have 3 wounds, didn't they, or 2 wounds?
2 wounds.
Cataphracti, I've got 2 wounds.
Yeah. But that save output is the 2+4+.
Yeah.
Whether Cataphracti are getting a
2+4
down or if they're getting
I see what you mean.
Tartarus and how they're going to equate between the 3 of them, because they're going to roughly fill the same kind of on-field role, I assume.
But if you look at the Oculus targeting array at the bottom of the data sheet, it sort of like seems to be saying, hey, these are maybe a little bit better if they stand still.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily think that these are Terminators that you're going to charge into deal with a bunch of.
No, they don't. They sort of seem like a sort of mini dreadnought or mini shooty dreadnought, really.
Well, in the fluff, the name of Terminator armor is tactical dreadnought armor.
Yeah,
24-inch range isn't the longest range in the world,
particularly with a movement of 5.
Yeah.
I don't know whether you can chuck them in a Spartan bulky 4. I'm assuming
you can chuck them in a Spartan, but here's one of the more interesting things. If you look at the Praetor, a high command model, we'll go into that in a bit. A model, he has a Saturnine teleportation transponder, and that gives he can join Saturnine Terminators and give them deep strike.
Right. Okay. That would kind of make sense.
So I would personally think that these guys' job is to deep strike in somewhere and start smashing up a bit closer to the fields, or I don't know, maybe going down and trying to smash people who are on an objective, if that's the word I'm looking for.
They don't have the Vanguard rule.
No, they don't have the Vanguard rule. The Vanguard rule, for those of you who may not have heard this one, this is basically the Vanguard purpose is to kill units holding an objective. So if they kill a unit holding an objective, they will get extra points based on so if it's a Vanguard 2, if they kill a tactical squad on an objective, you score 2 points.
Yeah.
Like Tile for Exterminators that have got Vanguard 3.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I mean, they were talking on the Goonhammer thing about, and we'll come on to this, but they were talking about using the move reaction to get off an objective.
Yes.
So if you're on the objective in the opponent's turn and they come towards you to charge, you use a move reaction to get away. So you're not on the objective. Soon if they kill you, they don't get any points for it. So
but yeah, ideally, you don't want to be in an objective in your opponent's turn.
So,
but you need to be on an objective at the end of your turn to score.
Yeah.
So Cataphracti, 150 points or
5, isn't it?
It doesn't actually say.
It should say unit composition at the top under the.
Oh, yeah, 5 of them. Yeah, sergeant and 4 dudes. Yeah, it's all in different places now. Movement of 6, fall 4, 4, toughness 5, 2 wounds, 4 attacks. 4 initiative, sorry. 2 attacks. 2 plus 4 plus. Vanguard 3.
Yeah,
gotcha.
So Terminator's
a different thing here, but I mean, I can see these being. I mean, they're quite pricey for 3. Is it 3 unit of 3?
Yeah, unit of 3, 200 points.
Yeah, I mean, I can see these being quite a cool thing. They've got this impeccable advance, which basically means the volley fire, which is in the charge phase. They do it at full ballistic skill. I think everybody, if you haven't got that rule, you're doing it at
snapshots, isn't it?
Snap firing, yeah. So, and again, the guns sound pretty terrifying. The plasma bombard, for example, and the twin heavy disintegrator, which you can basically tool up these guys with, one of each or even 2 of either on your guys can dish it out. I mean, nothing is. I mean, I'll probably go with the heavy disintegrator, to be honest with you.
I'm kind of thinking disruption fist because I want them to be able to defend themselves in combat. And
I think that I've always been of a view that if you've got a unit that's kind of has a special rule which is about shooting, get it to shoot.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have. I bought the box set. I don't know if you have, Graham, but I'm going to have a unit. Oh, you have, brilliant. Oh, yes, you did. You got it from Different Not Less.
I did.
Yes. Oh, we got a lovely message from a random local gaming store because I put up that status on Friday night saying, go to your local gaming store. I think it was not Asgard, D6Den or something. Oh, something like that. I've had a few messages from stores because they were saying, and I was like, thanking us because someone was going to order from Element.
What were they saying? Stop coming into our shop.
No. Someone was going to order from Element with our affiliate thing. And instead they went to the thing and said it was because we put up that status, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of what we want to do.
Nice, go us.
Because as much as it's great to use our affiliate link, use your local gaming store because that's where we play.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Supporting the community since 10 years ago.
Yes.
Still didn't get a free copy or anything, though.
No, we did that. We're not here for like free stuff.
I was waiting for it.
I'm kind of thinking
10 years we've been doing.
I'm kind of thinking I'm going to have I'm going to have 3 of them at least with double bombards.
I've gone through my second marriage.
Changed.
I've got grey hair.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 10 years.
Yeah, thanks for that Games Workshop.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Okay, so
I don't think I would go with. I wouldn't go with the plasma bombard if I'm honest. Looking at that,
yeah, no.
I was just thinking to have 1 squad of 3 with the plasma bombards, and it's only because they look cool.
Breaching 6+ or breaching 5+, or 2 shots at the same range. AP. I mean, they are overload too, which I think doesn't sound good.
I was trying to see what the overload rule does, but I can't lay my eyes on it.
What I think Blast
is Praetor looks pretty mean.
Here's the thing, though. Blast is a lot better.
Is it?
You aren't scattering automatically on Blast. If I recall and read that correctly, I think you fire for the blast weapon and you only scatter if you miss.
Do you want me to tell you?
You are probably going to tell me, Michael, you've read that completely wrong, or you've read something entirely different, or you're thinking of another game like Crisis Protocol or something. But
okay, the rule reads: when making attacks to the weapon, there's the blast special rule. Before any hit tests are made, a blast marker must first be placed to determine how many hits may be inflicted by the attack.
Yeah,
as per the current world we live in. The player making the attack must place the blast marker indicated in brackets as part of the special rule, so that the model is entirely over the base of any one on that. So
basically
the
the
hole
same
in
as
the
it is
middle
now.
is entirely over the base. Yep. Each under the blast marker will suffer one hit if the hit test is successful. If the hit test is unsuccessful, then no hits are inflicted, and the player making the attack must make a scatter roll for the blast marker. Once the scatter roll has been made for the blast marker and it has been moved, one hit is inflicted on a unit for each model from that unit that is wholly or partially covered by the blast marker. Hits can be scored on both friendly and enemy units by attack choosing blast. Yeah. Same manner as other
So
hits.
sort of, I was sort of right there. Yeah.
So you make a... if a hit test is unsuccessful...
Yes, you would roll your hit test on your ballistic skill.
So scatter dice then, I guess
only if you miss.
Yeah, if you missed, then you roll the scatter.
You
make a scatter roll.
You make a normal shooting attack after determining how many models you're going to hit. You roll the dice to see your attack, and then you scatter only if you miss.
Lovely. Okay, cool.
So you can still hurt them if you miss, but you are more likely, I think, to actually do some damage. So I think Blast has gotten a lot better.
Agreed. I quite like. They do look good in salamander colours, and I particularly like quite like the Saturnine Praetor.
Yeah,
he does
which
one as well.
Yeah, which one are you going to go with? Warhammer or Power Axe? Well, sorry, War Axe.
Yeah, I would probably go with the. It's hard to tell because the temptations go for that big clunky axe. But if you're going with other Saturnine Terminators, they've already got the Disruption Fist. So I would probably go with the War Axe, being as it doesn't affect your initiative.
Yeah, it's 200 points, but you need 60 points if you want to add Teleportation Transponder.
Whew.
60 points for Teleportation Transponder.
Yeah, so you're talking 460 points for a deep striking unit of 3 Saturnine Terminators and a Saturnine Praetor.
You can only, but you can't add additional Saturnine by look of things.
I don't know. Sorry, yes, you can. Look at underneath where it's got unit composition. You've got 1 Terminator Sergeant, 2 Terminators, and then may include up to 3 additional 60 points per model.
At the very top.
Very top. Yes.
So Saturnine Terminator Squad is the first one.
Bloody hell, yeah. I would have not got that. Okay.
Because
we're used to take a while to get used to these.
So I would ignore everything above the stat line.
Don't do that. So the concussion hammer, so the War Axe doesn't do anything to your initiative, doesn't do anything to your attacks. What's the SM?
Strength melee.
Oh, it's +1 to your strength. AP2, 2 damage, Reaping Blow 2.
Which is, if you've outnumbered in combat, you get an extra 2 hits. And to be honest, this guy is likely to be outnumbered in combat.
Does outnumbered... Well, if bulky still is a thing, it's unlikely.
I can't remember. But
because bulky obviously came into effect for how many you were outnumbered by or whatever.
Yeah. That was always a bit of nonsense because my Khitan had Reaping Blow. Or whatever it was. But it was only counted as a 1 model. So it's always outnumbered, most of it, because you just had to go up against 2 things and you're outnumbered.
Yeah. Okay. You got your Plasma Blaster and concussion hammers. The concussion hammer does look nice.
It looks good.
Concussion hammer is -3 to initiative.
Yeah, exactly. Critical hit 6+.
Critical hit 6+, damage 3. It's a power. AP2. Yeah, it's a thunder hammer.
Thunder hammer by another name, but it's critical 6+. I'm not sure what that does.
Critical hit 6+. I think if you do what is it again?
I think doesn't it just do the damage twice? If you roll a 6, so it would be 6 wounds.
Possibly.
I'm probably talking at my bottom. But anyway, I quite like. I think I would probably go with the War Axe because I don't know though. Now that you think about it, it's how many attacks does it get?
Attacks made with the critical hit special rule have a chance to automatically cause a wound and inflict 1 extra point of damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's automatically wounds, and you do 4 damage instead of 3.
In that case, I probably would go with that.
Trash, isn't it? Equal or greater than value.
She's got four attacks already.
So automatically inflicts a wound.
Mm-hmm.
And so a critical hit automatically inflicts a wound without any dice being rolled, counting as the roll of a 6 for any variable special rules that may be triggered by a wound test, and increase the damage characteristic of the hit by +1.
Right, okay.
So it does two things.
Yeah.
So it causes a wound automatically and makes it damage 4.
Read it again, sorry?
I shall where there is punctuation, I shall tell you what the punctuation is. A critical hit automatically inflicts a wound without any hit dice being rolled, comma.
Yeah.
Counting as the roll of a 6 for any variable special rules that might be triggered by a wound test, comma, and increase the damage characteristic of the hit by +1, full stop.
Yeah, so it does both.
There's two things.
Yes. Okay, nice. So I would probably still go with the axe just because you want things going at initiative, I think. Assuming that initiative's still the same, of course. But then again, if you're in a challenge, it doesn't sound like it is. Or it does, you get plus a D6 for your focus roll.
We're going to quickly cover out the Saturnine Dreadnought. So, this is... Have you seen the pictures of this next to the models, Graham? Flipping yow.
Kate Moss looked ridiculous next to it, I thought.
Yes. It's about a Telemon size.
Yeah.
It's
a chonker.
It's a chonker. 340 points. Yes.
Change.
Yeah.
It's got so the one in the box, you've got a disintegrator cannon and a heavy plasma bombard. So plasma bombard here looks to be just longer range than the little Terminator one, but it's got a 5-inch blast instead. And we've gone with this time. It's interesting. We've gone with 40k style plasma now, so you can choose to use the overcharge or the standard fire.
Gotcha.
So you don't necessarily have to roll the overload. You know what's the word? The dice for. See if you get guess hot dice. That's it. And the disintegrator cannon has that though. But
it does. Yes. I mean, it's overlaid 2. What's that? Slightly risky choice. I wonder what that was. Is that like if you roll a 2, it's a basically gets hot roll?
I don't know. I haven't seen the overload rule. I have looked for it, but I cannot see it. I don't know if Chris has it, but.
No, I can't see it.
Again, all we can assume. I mean, maybe you roll 2 dice for gets hot instead.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
So if we have looking here, so it's got 8 wounds, and can move 6. So this really is a shooting dreadnought. It's not a. It's not a. It's basically a Derrideo, but
a Leviathan. You mean?
No. Well, the Leviathan is an attacking.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Whereas the Leviathan is sort of like I'm going to mess you up with my close combat weapons, but it can do shooting. The Derrideo is just shooting, isn't it? So
yes, agreed. Yeah.
So this is a shooting dreadnought, but a big shooting dreadnought.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So what is this? Leadership 12, cool 10. A 2+ armor save. It's going to hang around.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take some dealing with, isn't he? But then a lot of things do a lot of damage now.
Mm-hmm.
So, the plasma bombard looks quite cool, but again, back on the breaching really, and that disintegrator cannon, 3-shot, basically the same as the other one. So. The other one's the inversion beamer. Some of those sort of
reverse conversion beamer.
Yeah, some crazy stuff there.
That looks cool.
So heavy range strength, I'm assuming, means its strength goes up, and that's a 5-inch blast. Actually, that's a 5-inch blast with an AP.
Its range is 30 centimeters, but at half range, it's stronger.
Yes, so it is inversion beamer. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So the closer you are to it, the more it's going to hurt you.
Yeah.
Whereas the conversion
Yes.
beamer is always the further away you are, it hurts you more.
I think that's a much better choice of weapon. There's no gets hot on that.
Agreed. And I think the graviton pulverizer is pretty good as well.
There's no close combat weapon, is there, for this?
No, he has no close combat weapon.
Yeah.
This is definitely a shooting machine. And they have said that the other weapons are going to come out separately on a sprue similar to the Contemptor weapon sprue.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll be able to buy 2 versions of the Dreadnought and the sprue. So you could magnetize the one you get in the box, and then later on buy the inversion beamer and just slot it on when you want to.
Just ping it
Got
up.
it.
I've just had a look. We don't have a copy of the Overload special rule in any of the things.
Okay. Yeah. I do mention it in this article, though.
Overloads.
Makes it
Yeah.
they do say it's a slightly risky choice, but it doesn't say what that actually
Doesn't
is.
elaborate. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think
See, this is the annoying thing. This is the annoying thing. Like them. Oh, it's a risky choice. Not explaining what it is. And then when I was talking to someone else the other day, it was like, yeah, they released when Age of Sigmar first came out. They released all the rules at midnight on the day when it went on to pre-order, and then everybody went absolutely mental because they looked at the rules and they were like, I don't like it.
And you can take twin inversion beamers on this bad boy for an extra point.
I would be tempted to do that. But
I mean,
no doubt,
350 is a lot of points.
No doubt the inversion beam and the graviton beamer are going to be on their own sprue, so you'd have to buy 2 sets of the sprue to get.
Flipping heck, of course you would.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course you would.
Well,
and you've also got nipple weapons too.
Yeah.
Both template weapons, I note.
Yeah, flamers, aren't they?
Yeah. So
cool.
One is a sonic weapon and one is a shock weapon. Sorry, a flame weapon.
Yeah.
I thought one was a shock weapon, so I apologize to someone telling them off, not telling them off, saying something that was a lie earlier. Okay, Satline Dreadnought, that's done. Missions. All right.
Key takeaways here, I suppose, there aren't many.
There aren't many at all. 3 missions in the 4 if you count the journal.
4 missions, blimey.
The journal has a mission.
I guess they're trying to get people to buy those journals so they get more variety.
Rinse more.
Yeah.
So you are capturing objective markers every turn.
Yeah.
And we know from this that line models get more points for controlling objectives. So everybody gets 1 point for controlling an objective, and a line model will get line X. So if you've got line 3 for a tactical squad, they will score 4 points per. So points are going to get very high in this game.
Yeah, and you can also get out of a rhino. I noticed that somebody was saying at 12 inches, it can drive 12 and you can jump out of it, which means getting a tactical squad onto objectives is actually
that's
a lot easier.
That's good, because I always feel with 4 turns how you're going to get onto the. That's good.
So rhinos may make a big return, I think, because you can apparently charge out of them as well. It's disorganized charge.
Yeah. So as we have explained before, only 4 turns.
Okay. And then secondary objectives: Last Man Standing, Slay the Warlord, Giant Killer, Lords of War, First Strike. Come back to First Strike. Okay.
Yeah, First Strike is interesting because a lot of people were saying, "Oh, expendable," because you've got expendable on the Siege Breaker. He's expendable. So if you kill him, you don't get VPs for him because he essentially takes them away.
Yeah. Basically, that's it.
So the tarantula.
How many victory when it's destroyed to a minimum of 1? So you can't take points off people by having them destroyed, which would be cool. So it means first strike objective, for example.
When they use the tarantula, like tarantulas are going to be really easy to kill, but you can't destroy them in the first turn because you'd only get 1 point instead of 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So that's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. Right. Okay. Journals. So
the thing about nothing about the missions currently.
I have seen. Yeah, nothing about the missions is exciting.
It's like the Siege of Cathonia ones, according to Goonhammer, basically. Very similar to those ones.
Yeah. I think Siege of Cathonia was basically testing the water for a lot of the stuff here. So they must have been working on this for a long time.
Well, it's not they just shoved it out.
Yeah,
down the line. But
it almost
I
feels
just-
like, because Siege of Cathonia would have had to be in the works, but again, a while before it came out, and that came out quite early on in second edition. So I will sort of wonder, was second edition sort of a stepping stone to this?
probably.
Possible.
It's just this thing of, you decide how many points you're going to take in your army. Okay, then you choose your mission.
Yeah.
Then you choose your army, and I think there is something about the art that I have never accomplished. May I point out here? There's something to the art of making a list that works for most scenarios.
Yeah.
I mean, Gareth in our group has been saying, "Oh no, I'll just pick my list depending on what the mission is. I'm not gonna bring an all-comers list. I'm gonna tailor my list to the mission." Which, yes, I guess you can do, but for me, it kind of removes a little bit of the. I don't know.
If there are only 3 missions and they're all functionally the same.
Yeah. I mean, it does reduce the skill, because we have the list challenge for a very good reason, right? Which is to try and find that sweet spot between effectiveness against most things. I mean, so I think otherwise you just take armored breakthrough all the time, right?
Yeah. I mean,
it's not effective all of the time.
I mean, you and I, Chris, are not Chris, Graham, we're in the sort of very early stages of an event planning. And I was saying, as far as I'm concerned, how it should work is you don't know the missions before you go to the event. Although, to be fair, at the minute, we're going to be using core missions, but you have to submit a list and that's it.
No, depends which event you're talking about, but one of those we'll write our own.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? If you were running a core event is what I mean. Like, not a core event, a simple event, nothing particularly, you would, I personally think it would be a case of you aren't going to know what the missions are. So you should, I still think if you're going to an event, you really need to concentrate on that all-comers, trying to strike that balance list.
At this point in time, I don't think this is going to be a good addition or early on, it's not going to be a great addition for event organisers.
No, we've got a lot to figure out.
I think you would just have to say, as a house rule, you have to choose your army up front.
Yeah.
You can't choose your army composition.
But you know that people are going to get narky about it. That's the thing. You know, well, the rules say, but
our event rules say otherwise.
Don't come to the event.
Yeah,
our rules events say otherwise, and the reason for that is
you gave me the worst game experience that I've ever had.
Look, I like the idea because we've done this before. We had sideboards at one event, and the only problem with it was it led to people bringing a nice one and a horrible one, and they always pick the horrible
ones and do their toys out the pram.
It's a case of, I think, that we have to stick with a list, and we have to say, look, you need to not think about, I'm catering this list for this specific mission. You have to think about the list of, well, because I think the way Gareth was saying, well, if it's a mission with high scoring for the objectives on units, I'm going to concentrate on Vanguard because my opponent's going to bring line.
Yeah.
So
until everyone brings Vanguard.
Exactly. And that's why I think we've gone through this so many times where the meta has just changed without new units. We need to, I think that balanced list is always going to, it might not win all of the games, but it's going to be the one that's going to have the best time.
I mean, you could just say you have to have a minimum of X line units.
Well, you don't have to really, but yes. But
you could do it for an event. Right?
Yeah. I mean, for an event, yes, you could. But anyway, missions, lovely. Journals. Okay, journals. We're getting a first journal, 30 pages of lore. So Graham's going to be like, right, that's going straight in the bin.
Yep, don't need that.
You get those pages out.
You get a mission, a specific mission, where you get to fit the thing you've got, the scenario. And they're talking about a Zone Mortalis as a journal, potentially. And then you've got new units, and apparently the whole point of the new units is we want you to concentrate. These are supposed to be kit bashed. So we know in the next journal there's going to be a Saturnine command squad. They've already said that. But in this journal we have 3 new units: the Master of Descent, which is the console we mentioned him before.
Master of the Scent. What does he do?
Descent.
Perfumery. Oh, Descent. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Basically, he's a consul with a jump pack. He deep strikes him with his unit first turn.
Packaraban.
And then every turn afterwards, he automatically grants you a pass on one reserve roll.
Right. Okay.
So say you want to bring in your a drop pod in turn 2 with a Leviathan in it, you can automatically pass that. Then you've got the high-priced Scorpion, which is basically a tarantula missile thing on top of a Scorpius. And then there's a squad of 4 Marine to basically take statuses off other guys. Gotcha. And I think there's a lot of concern that this is DLC.
Oh, yeah. It's exactly what it is.
Yeah. That we're going to have to pay £16 every so often to get the units back. And I think a lot of people are saying they're taking destroyers out because they're going to put them in this new book and make us pay £13 to get the rules. It's like, mate, if you're really bothered about spending £13 for all, just use new recruit. The rules will be on there. It'll be fine. No one's going to give a crap.
It's a thing of, I bought destroyers 10 years ago and now I can't use them and now I'm going to pay.
The situation is
£44 for my army book and then an additional potentially, depending on how many units got rinsed from that army book, because they don't make the models for them because for whatever reason I've then got to pay. And if it's 3 or 4 units potentially, you're buying another rule book.
Yeah.
To get
it will. I said we'll have to wait and see what the situation is because we don't know. It's going to be a few months, I think, before it settles out and we see what the future is going to be like. So I'm not prepared to jump on a thing and say stop acting like EA. I mean, for me, and this is just me personally, I like the journals for the old world. They're full of lore, they're full of fluff, they're really well written. To me, £13 that I can get it from Element Games is worth that. Graham, not so much. He's going to pay. I'm paying £16 for 3 units.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So Graham's going to use New Recruit where they'll have the rules.
There's no way on God's earth I'm going to.
Yeah. But for me, I'm going to buy the book because there's lore in there and I want to read that. And I think it's one of those products where its value depends on you. Because let's be perfectly honest here, Games Workshop, no offense, we don't need to buy the books. We can just get it off any dozens of army builders. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you looked at the 3 missions?
Yes.
No.
They're hard to read in the photos we have, but I don't mind them. I saw there was one where the objectives disappear when they get, after so long of getting scored. I think it scores so many points, then it reduces by 1, then it reduces by 1, then it disappears.
No. They are... okay. Yes.
I think the missions in themselves aren't that exciting.
No.
But I think they're...
Really not.
I think they're not particularly exciting, but I don't think at the same time that they're particularly complicated. And I think they're very simple missions to get started with these new rule sets. They're not overly complicated missions. Does that make any sense? I think we're going to have to be looking less at the mission rules. Because I think me and Graham were, again, discussing with the other guy, the event, we're like, keep it simple. Keep your missions simple. The more things you put in there, the more things people will forget.
So in the new rulebook, around the missions, it says that they're still going to be doing exemplary battle PDFs as well.
Yeah.
So you're going to have the journals and the exemplary battles.
But I suppose the problem is that those exemplary battles are never balanced. They're kind of reenactments, aren't they?
Yes.
And they're very specific to, if you've got, this unit of Emperor's Children and this against, these Iron Hands, whatever.
I think it's one of those ones where we're going to have to wait and see what it comes out with.
Okay, fair enough.
It's hard to judge because all we have so far is, you know what I mean? It's like we don't know what the future's going to hold because I don't know. It's like, as you say, the exemplary missions in the past have been very specific for very specific scenarios with very specific units. We don't know if these new exemplary battles are going to be, I don't know, more balanced.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably won't be. Let's be perfectly honest.
No.
I don't know. Do you want to go through all of the faction articles, or do you want to sort of move on to army buildings?
Should we look at? Should we look at one of each of our armies quickly?
You know what? I'm going to go with the solar then. Do you want to pick a unit first, an army then first, Graham?
I'm going to go with the Mechanicum.
Yeah. Chris. Obviously, the Custodes.
I would do if only I could. No, I've got some guys in yellow or some guys in red, or I haven't got some other guys in red anymore. I can have a look at the.
Do you want to go first then, Chris, and sort of tell us?
I can go first if you.
Graham's probably got a better idea.
I wouldn't say that because I'm confused and I've only read the first sentence, which again is part of the problem.
Have you seen the? Did you see the Spruce and Bruce and the Goonhammer review of the Mechanic?
I did. So that gives me a little bit. I'm still very confused about this prime advantage business, which I think comes back to our list building thing, which you're going to go through. But you basically, you have to take certain things to unlock certain other things or different units and stuff. I had a look through this. I kind of, some of them have got a little bit of a boost. And some of them, I don't know what's going to happen to them. But I think generally, Mechanicum have had a little bit of an uptick in this edition from last edition, where certain units, take Ursrax, for example, were utterly terrible. And I think they've had a little bit of a boost in that. From the Goonhammer article on this, they've also going to, on day one, which I was surprised about actually, in the Mechanicum book, they're including the Titan and the Decimator, the demon engines, and how you use them, which I was pretty pleased about actually, because I thought I'm going to have to wait 6 months for these rules. So they're going to be there, which is good. And I think, there's a lot going on there, cyberthergic rights and stuff. But generally speaking, most of the models I think have got a little bit of a bump, and will make them more able to stand against Marines. So,
it does seem that really Mechanicum did get a good they got treated really nicely.
Yeah. I mean, I think again there's sort of other units that I haven't used in the past, like Myrmidons, which are still good. But I think you could make quite an exciting army with this now, or as I suspect will be more likely, you will be able to make a really good allied detachment, because you can make different detachments now. And make a cool Sons of Horus Mechanicum army list quite easily without the constraints that we've currently got.
Yeah. All right. Chris, are you ready to talk Marines?
Yeah, I was just reading the thing about so rights of war don't exist in the way that they did anymore.
Nope.
Yeah.
You have Legion's specific rights of war, which are
the old Legionis Astartes rules.
The defining traits of the legions, which is pretty cool. It's good to see them. It's kind of a shame to see the rights of war go, because they would offer flavor on top of flavor. There's one thing here: the Space Wolves Legion Tactica, the Hunter's Strike. Space Wolves make a longer setup move. So
yes, that's part of the assault.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So you sort of do a setup move before you charge, so you can get a bit closer. And the space walls are going to really struggle to not make it into combat.
Consolidate the. Because you used to get a move, didn't you?
Yeah.
Between charging and.
You still do. You got a 3-inch move.
Piling move.
Yeah, piling. Yeah.
Yes, but that's what this is now. I guess piling's gone, and it's now a setup move, I assume.
Yeah. The space walls are going to really have to try hard to fail the charge.
So it must add 2 to the distance of any setup move to a maximum of 6 inches.
Yeah.
So they're going to charge, setup move, and then you're in. So they're going to be,
Well, you've got to mind this Volley Fire stage as well now. where they
Yes.
shoot each other first.
Yeah,
don't they?
there's like an assumption that the space walls are going in, charging their bolters, just like flipping orcs.
Mm.
Except they're aiming at people.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really looked at the close combat section in too much detail because it's.
No, you don't like close combat, do you, Graham?
I don't know.
He does. He's converted.
I mean, I totally am. I mean, I would say most of my armies now are quite, but they're kind of balanced between shooting and. I don't tend to have a melee only army or a shooting only army, although maybe the Ultramarines. But even then, they've got Caesarean in, and they were really useful in close combat.
So basically, what makes armies different is the rights of war, or the old Legionis Astartes rule.
You have
I know word bearers. Basically, they get +1 to. Oh, I can't remember what it is, but yeah, it's +1 to something.
They were the local word bearers weren't very. I did see on their Facebook group they were very unhappy about their in comparison to the other legions.
Yes,
but then they can summon cool demons, right?
Yes, yes, they can. Well, everybody can if they take all traitors can if they take an esoterist.
Oh yeah, the other thing about traitors is that they can all be. You can make the whole of your army like malefic.
Yes,
so they become corrupted. Previously, it was only, I think it was
word
bearers and Emperor's Children.
Yes,
with Lorgar.
Yeah, Emperor's Children with the
Legion. Yeah, you could make one of your. So you can basically say the whole thing of they're basically demonic, which I kind of like as well. I think that's quite cool.
Which is really good if you want to do late siege. I
think the downside is that you don't fail any tests, but I think you take wounds instead if you fail them. If that makes any sense. You don't have the effects, but you just lose a load of unsayable wounds if you screw up.
The Blood Angels, Tactica, for instance, they get +1 to their strength characteristics when they're successfully charged. So that's pretty much the same.
Furious charge.
Yep. They get a special rule. You get a gambit. You get an additional special detachment. So Revelation Host is the Blood Angels one.
Everybody gets a special detachment.
And an advanced reaction.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that's pretty much the same.
Nice.
I guess. That's kind of similar. The Blood Angels one, troops in this detachment may only be used to select Assault Squad units. Elite slots in this detachment may only be used to select Dawnbreaker cohorts units or veteran assault squads. Okay, so you have to have that one has to be it. So you got 4 circles, one with a thing around it, which is a prime unit.
Prime unit, yeah. The Iron Halo makes a prime unit.
Yeah.
So if you
and then 3 other choices.
I did I think I mentioned this in the Goonhammer article that you can't take the Iliastus assault cannon unless it's as an upgrade. I think previously you could swap them out for
flamers. I think it was
it's 5 points, and you could take them instead of heavy bolters. I think you can't do that anymore.
Nope, that is gone for. Well, let's have a look. Elastus assault cannon. Any model of the Blood Angels trait with either the Veteran Tactical Squad or Centurion Command Squad may have its heavy flamer exchanged for 1 Elastus assault cannon for 10 points. Cataphracti Terminator with the Blood Angels trait may have its heavy flamer exchanged for Elastus assault cannon for 10 points. Predators may take them.
Yeah, I think you can get the Bile Predator, but not on the sponsors. Not on the sponsors.
Turret may exchange for 1 turret mounted. Yep, for free. Any model bonus train of vehicle type may have 1 pintle mounted assault cannon because they do the model for it, and the Leviathan may still exchange its heavy flamers for the assault cannon.
Oh, that's not bad then.
So where's
it's the Angel Tears where I think they've really been lost, because that was one thing that I think a lot of people took their Angel's Tears for. They wanted they wanted Elastis assault cannons.
Yeah, we did. But games are too effing lazy to make a model for it.
You see, now I think Imperial Fist lost their Elastis assault cannons for Terminators, and they actually have a model.
Actually, that's the world's smallest violin playing in the background. You can hear.
You see, the thing is, Graham, now
Angel's Tears have got the stupid Aerolim grenade launcher.
Well,
80
that's what
inches.
that's what they are now. Your Elastis assault cannons on there. They just they just fire mini grenades.
Trash.
But I think the Dreadnought with the jetpack can use jetpack all the time now.
Yes.
Which is
Well,
nice.
special rule makes a rush against the anti-grav subtype for the duration of that movement phase.
So not one use only.
Not one use only.
In terms of Solar Auxilia,
Well, against the anti-grav subtype, so it's not necessarily the same thing. So,
I don't know what other jetpacks do.
Well, it's not a jetpack. It just gives it
anti-grav.
The anti-grav subtype.
Yeah,
okay.
It's like the Moritat has anti-grav.
Movement any faster, I assume. It just gives it ignores terrain or
something like that, I believe.
+5+.
In terms of the Solar Auxilia, the tertios have been replaced with detachments. So auxiliary detachments that basically replicate it. So if you take a line command section, you get to take more infantry squads in a tertio, not tertio. Oh, sorry. In a detachment, which is interesting. And they've all got, instead of the cohort doctrines, are now basically just something you take, and it grants a special rule to the army. So, like, I think they've got the armored one, reconnaissance, Hermes one, which does the Hermes, and they've got a Ultramar type one as well. So, and then every single legion has their own cohort doctrines that gives an advanced reaction to Solar Auxilia as well. So if you're taking any Solar Auxilia as an ally, you've got a advanced reaction that they can use. But to be honest, again, Solar Auxilia, they came out pretty all right. I think that both the reviews, all the reviews I've seen of them basically say Solar Auxilia are still pretty good. They're probably a little bit better now. But yeah, lost a couple of units, but
the Vigil Pattern Storm Shields for the Imperial Fists.
Oh yeah, that's still there. That's
still there.
+4, isn't it?
4+ invulnerable save. Whereas I think it used to be I feel like it was better than that. Imperial Fist, looking in the old book very quickly. Console. Come on, where are you, little devil, you? Yeah, used to be a 3+ invulnerable save for the old Vigil. So I don't know what the shield trait is. But hopefully that's something useful. Because otherwise there's going to be a lot of kind of Tartarus guys or kind of Fractite guys going, why have I got this?
I think they're not so good, actually. I think if I remember rightly, they don't get a 3+ invuln anymore with the shield.
No, it's a flat
4+.
Yeah,
for the Vigil, it's a 4+ invulnerable save.
5+ for a boarding shield
trait.
Yeah, 5+ for a boarding shield, 6+ for a combat shield.
Okay, is that the invuln that you get?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Right, are we ready to move on to building an army?
Go on then. Let's do that before we close.
Okay.
Also, just very quickly,
go on.
As far as I can tell, all Primarchs have got the same initiative.
Yes, I believe they do.
Just their weapons do different. Because old Horus's hammer drops his initiative by 2.
Right, I see.
And Sanguinius' spear still doesn't have a ranged attack.
Yeah. Okay. Let's
can you throw it? You can throw it in this edition, can you?
I don't know.
Let's have a quick look.
Yeah, somebody killed one of my.
Oh yeah, you used to.
Sorry.
Yeah, but you throw it and you spaffed it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have that ability anymore.
Okay.
He only has one ranged weapon, and that's his Infernus Melter Pistol.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. All right. Well, let's move on then to how to build an army list the Michael Bottrell way.
Before we do move on, I think it's we're going to get slagged off if we don't acknowledge it. Yes, we know a lot of units have lost options. We've mentioned it in this. We don't know what else to say because we haven't seen all the documents really, but it's annoying.
Hang on, let's really annoy Graham very quickly because
Go on.
Oh yes. As
youngest brother, I feel it is my
absolutely, and you were right.
Exactly. The Grey Slayers still take every option known to man.
That was the first thing I checked.
Yeah, they've lost the other squad now. So they used to have the Grey Slayers and the Grey Stalkers, I want to say.
Yes, the Grey
Yes,
Hunters of the old.
they're now merged into the same unit again. So, yeah, that's interesting. Okay.
It's still the best troops choice in the game.
You know, your factories in Axe for
Probably.
paraffin. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Bloody Space Wolves.
They just keep getting away with it.
Every edition.
They do. But
Nobody's
a
willing to take them on,
lot of
that's what it
Space
is.
Wolf players are unhappy because their Barragear Terminators have lost every single option.
Oh,
Because then you make
getting a
games
full
are
orchestra.
lazy and let's make the models any differently than they do.
Yeah. Whereas the Lernian have got more options apparently.
And that's what they needed.
Yeah. But we'll see what the crack is. Anyway, building an army. Right.
That's initiative 7. Interesting. Okay.
Building an army. Okay, so armies are themed around detachments. We're going back to a little bit of 7th edition. So it was 7th edition with detachments. And you've got there's no compulsory there's no compulsory choices things anymore. You don't have to fill any of these slots. But this is your army. This is the first attachment you have, and this is the one that allows you to take others. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you've got High Command, which in the Marines is a Praetor. It's the only choice you've got. In the Mechanicum, it's an Archimagos. And then you've got Command, where your Consuls and your Centurions and your Opte, he's still in there for some reason. Go. The one with the crown around it, that's a prime slot, but we'll come on to that in a little bit. And then underneath, you've got Troops and Transport. None of these slots are compulsory. You don't have to fill any of them, or you can fill all of them, or as many as you'd like.
I'm with you. So if you had a Praetor and a Centurion, that's fine as a Crusade primary detachment. You don't need to fill the troops choices or anything there.
You need to fill... I assume you would have to fill one troops choice.
Nope.
Oh, this is going to... Okay.
You don't have to fill any of them in any of the detachments.
But if you've got 2 prime... Okay, we'll come on to the prime things in a minute.
The prime bits, basically what that is it's a benefit for that unit. So every legion has its own prime benefit, which it is. Now, the one that's easiest to explain, I think, is logistical benefit. So if you got that command there, you put a Centurion in there, say, I've got a logistical benefit. What that allows you to do is add any unit from elsewhere in the army into that detachment. So you could go, I want to add a Leviathan Dreadnought to my Crusade primary detachment by taking that logistical thing, or I want to add that Saturnine Dreadnought.
Where does it say about the prime benefits for the legions?
I believe they all have a prime. No, sorry. You know what? I might be misunderstanding this here because I've only read bits and bits, but I know there are different prime benefits in the things like the Mechanicum.
So I'm just looking at the images that we have.
Yeah, I could be mistaken there. So don't quote me on that. But you've got prime benefits, and there are different types of prime benefits, and each army has its own. I believed each army had its own prime benefits, but I may be mistaken on that. But you've got things like you could make the sergeant in that troop choice there with the Iron Halo. You could make him a veteran sergeant. And what that does is it boosts some of his fighting power and his advanced characteristics. So,
okay, I think.
Yeah. So basically, he becomes a better version of what he is. If that makes any sense.
I think so.
There are different. Basically, it's a different little benefit, and you can take it. Honestly, Chris and Graham, don't worry if you don't get it because it's gonna. I think it's gonna take a while. I'll only really get it once you start building armies.
Okay.
Now, if you want to take auxiliary detachments, you can take 1 auxiliary detachment per command or high command choice. Centurions allow you to take 2 auxiliary detachments. So
that's base Centurions. That's not heralds or anything like that. It's just a base.
That's just a base Centurion. The Centurion is his own unit. The Consuls are their own units. You don't upgrade a Centurion anymore.
Right. Okay.
So the way I look at it is the Praetor is the commander for the whole army.
Mm-hmm.
Your Centurions are sort of your middle level, and because they're a bit more, higher up in the chain of command, they're in charge of 2 bunch of lads, right? And your consuls, they're not quite as advanced. They've got a specific job, so they're only in charge of 1 bunch of lads.
Okay.
I don't know if I explained that very well, but right. So your auxiliary detachments we have here. You've got these are some of them. You pick these, and these will give you different things that you can pop into your your army.
For the listeners at home, these are an armored fist auxiliary detachment, which has 4 transport.
It's got 4 light transports and 4 heavy transports.
Yeah. And then there's a tactical support one, which is
2 troops. 2 troops and 2 support units. The support units are things like your rapiers, heavy support squads, and tactical support squads.
Gotcha. So there's an armored support, which is tanks.
Yep, which includes the Kratos.
Heavy support, which is dreadnoughts.
War engines, dreadnoughts.
Combat pioneers, which are recon
scouts, seekers, outriders, I think are in that.
They might be in First Strike.
No, I think they're in combat pioneers. I think they're in combat pioneers.
Shock assault, which is terminators, and then First Strike, which is fast attack slots for aircraft, jet bikes, and speeders.
Exactly.
And you can take as many of these attachments as you want, can't you? Well, no, you can take 1 per console /
or 2 per Centurion. So you've got 4 slots there in command slots in your first one. For each one of those you fill, you can take another auxiliary detachment, unless it's a Centurion, and then you can take 2 extra.
I'm with you.
But a plain Centurion, it can't be a...
Yeah.
I think we've got to stop thinking in terms of Centurions or consuls or Centurions. They're not. They're their own thing anymore. A chaplain isn't a Centurion that's been upgraded. A Centurion is higher than a chaplain now. So it's going to take a while to change out of that mindset of, I upgrade my chaplain, my consul to a Centurion, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So you've got these. You've also got Apex. Sorry, if we look at these are...
so going back here, I could take 12 tanks.
Yes, you could.
With 1 Centurion and 1 consul.
Yeah. So it lets
I wouldn't have anything scoring that would score any victory points. Because
you do score. Everybody scores.
Yes.
Yeah, you still get a point for being objective.
Yeah.
But you're scoring, you score more points for having line. So there is an incentive to taking troops, but I think there's an incentive to taking everything. Like,
just take Terminators. Take 12 tanks, fantastic.
Yeah, Terminators have Vanguard, so you want to take them to deal with other people's line, but you also want to have line to score points.
Yeah.
Well, you just take Vanguard and
just knack anybody that gets an objective, right?
Yeah, but then once you've killed all their line, all you're skewing is scoring 1 point.
Yeah, but they're not scoring more points than that.
But they might have other ways. They might have scored already from having, if they survive 2 turns, that's 8 points.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So that's why I think balance needs to be struck. In fact, plus you've got the points from the objectives in the first place. So that could be 10 points even. So you've got Apex detachments, and what they are is they can be taken for a high command slot. So your high commander can take one of these. So you've got Army Vanguard, that's got 3 elites in it. I think there's other auxiliary detachment. It isn't just these ones. Each legion has its own auxiliary detachment.
Yes, it does, yeah.
So they theme, but some of them restrict what units can go into certain slots. Like, for example,
the Angels one that I said about can they take 2 slots in this attachment may only be used to detect assault squad units, and elite slots in this attachment may only be used to select Dawnbreaker cohort units or veteran assault squads.
Yeah. So it forces you into it. So they force you into a theme. But of course, the Dark Angels get 6 different auxiliary detachments.
Well, that makes sense because
they've got their wings.
It's That's a right of war thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I know that there are a lot of Dark Angels saying, "Oh, we've got no flavor now because everything's the same." But actually, if you think, I think that this is a simpler and easier way of doing the hexagrammaton than simply just doing a right of war. I think it's,
and their rules were so confusing to play.
Yes,
against.
exactly.
It was like you get +1 because that's Firewing, +7 to that because his name's Dave.
Yeah.
Plus
it's now
14 because that one's painted green. I mean, it's just nonsense.
It's now more how the army is organized rather than the rules that each unit has through the right of war.
Yeah.
Whether that's dumbing the game down, I think that's personal opinion. Okay. Apex detachments. So this is where,
Oh yes,
again, you've got. So these are basically a detachment you can take only if for. I think you can only take this through the high command slot. I think the high command. I may be mistaken on this, but this is my understanding. If I'm wrong, we're going to learn it in a couple of weeks or someone's going to point it out on a comment and say, "Well, actually," and you know what? That's fair because what do I know?
Yeah.
But these have a lot of prime slots. So you've got your combat retinue here. And you might want to give so this is for your command squads. You might say, well, actually, I'm going to make a sergeant in that command squad. I'm going to give him, I think one of the prime benefits makes him really good at combat. So you could essentially elevate him to like a champion, more or less. That's how someone explained it to me. I haven't read all of it.
Yeah.
So that's an example. And then you've got your officer cadre. So then fit more officers, so you can fit more auxiliary detachments.
Right, so they would still, even though they're in an officer cadre, not the prime detachment, whatever, they would still, basically, if you have them, they still add.
Every time you've got an officer, he can take a detachment.
Nice. Okay.
And again, you can still give that officer cadre logistical benefit. Oh, prime benefits, you can only take one prime benefit per detachment. So if you've got a bunch of prime things in different, you can take a bunch of different dreadnoughts, for example, or a tank.
Okay, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is an example of a logistical benefit one. So someone's taken an army vanguard and they put 3 veteran tactical squads in there. The prime slot, they've used logistical benefit and they've taken a Leviathan.
Gotcha. But you would only actually have to fill one of those to get the logistical benefit. And that's the one with the Iron Halo.
You have to fill the one with the Iron Halo to get that.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, why would you take the Army Vanguard and not fill the one with the Iron Halo?
Yeah, exactly.
Because the prime benefits, they're free. Sorry, prime advantages, they're free. You don't pay for them.
Gotcha.
Okay, and this is an allied detachment, and these are quite cool. Now, if you take an allied detachment, you can still take auxiliary detachments. So it isn't a case of, right, I've taken an allied detachment of Mechanicum, I've put in there a Magos, and a bunch of tech priests. Because, Mechanicum, the only choice is a tech priest. It isn't like the old day where that's what you're limited to. You can still then go back and take a armored support attachment to take a bunch of Krioses.
Right, I'm with you.
Or, in the case of the Mechanicum, you might take a tactical support. So you've then got 2 support slots in there, which you fill up with 80 tech thralls. Because tech thralls can come in units of 40 now.
If I've your question, if I take a console in the allied detachment, does the auxiliary detachment have to be from the same faction?
I think if you've got a White Scar with a Blood Angel and the allied detachment is the White Scar, I think the auxiliary detachments that come off of the allied detachment do have to belong to that faction.
Yeah, okay.
So you can't have them taking a unit of, I don't know, not Blood Angel.
Imperial Fists.
Imperial Fists, yeah. But you aren't limited to just one allied detachment. So you can have as many of these as you want. So you could take, so Chris's dream of the Fists, Blood Angels, and White Scars, perfectly doable.
Possible.
You can soup it.
Yeah.
But within limits, there is still a sort of structure to it. And you can't, if that makes any, there is still a limit. And
I can see lots of Grey Slayer allied detachments coming along here.
Yes. Do Grey Slayers have the line?
Give me 1 second. I will. Give me 2 ticks.
I'm guessing they must do because they're troops' choice. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean they are.
Not necessarily, because breachers, I think they're only line 1.
Right.
Assault squads, they're a troops' choice, but they're a vanguard.
They're
unit.
vanguard. Yeah, they're vanguard, aren't they?
Yeah. So again, it's the slot doesn't necessarily say what it's going to do.
Yeah.
Grey Slayers are line 2.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough then. Yeah. So, but again, if you've only got Grey Slayers and someone else has got a bunch of, I don't know, what's the Punisher Sicarans, you're not going to have a fun time because you might just get pinned all the time.
True.
Okay. So, auxiliary detachments. I put that up again. Right. Here's the Lord of War detachment. This is special. You can take this no matter what. You can take this and have 2 Lords of War as long as it doesn't exceed 25% of your costs, and it can be any faction. So
Right,
you could take. I mean, if you really wanted to, you could take in that Blood Angels army a White Scar Glaive. I mean, I don't know why you would, but I think this is more to say, all right, I'm going to take 2 Knights, or I'm going to take a Titan. I think that's more where it lies. Or I've got, Khitan.
Brass Scorpion.
Yeah, well, they are in the Mechanicum book as well, which is great. I thought I honestly didn't see them in the contents page. I'm so glad they're in there. It's literally, Graham, your army of the Mechanicum has come out smelling of roses.
I know, right?
Yeah. Okay, so, and that's 25% of the army total. The Primarch has his own detachment, but that's different. Now, these 2, I just wanted to touch on. These are examples of different detachments you have. This one is a Yeomanry Messany, and this belongs to the Knights. So they have their own detachment types, and every Lord of War slot in that has a prime benefit. Because you remember the old rules back in 1.0 for the Knights, where you used to give the Knights each a rank.
Yes.
That's what you do.
Household ranks.
Yeah, their prime advantages.
Better or worse.
Yeah. Their prime advantage they have in this new edition is each prime slot has a prime advantage, and you can give each rank a knight. A rank as that prime advantage.
Okay.
Yeah. But they also have 2 special detachments, and these are the additional attachments, which are quite cool. This one is a Yeomanry Mercenary. It's 1 troops, 2 elites, 1 recon, and 2 heavy transports, and you can only fill out the Solar Auxilia as a sort of special unit of accompanying Solar Auxilia. So for me, what I would be doing with this is I've got 2 Dracozans, I've got 1 Las Rifle section, I've got 2 Velataris, and I've got some Hermes. Hermes are the Light Sentinels. That's what you could build with that. And then there's another one, Automata. Talon. Why do I always say Automata? Automata. This is for...
You say Automata, I say Automata.
So having a go at my pronunciation of Apoca 3 the other day.
Adam.
Not me.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Adam
was.
Well, trust me, pronunciation on this show has, for 10 years, been
terrible.
Distinct, I think.
Kind of patch guy boy over here.
Yeah. So this is all about taking the robots with the Knights. So this is an example of one, and this limits what you can take. So the elite slot, you can only take a Domitar. The support slots, you're only taking Castellax battle maniples. There's 2 different Castellaxes, I don't know if you noticed.
Yes, I did, yeah.
Yeah.
There's the ones with the Mauler bolt cannon, and then there's the ones with the guns.
No, the ones with the Mauler bolt cannons. You can still take the Mauler bolt cannons in the other one, but I think the first one of them is more fighty. I don't know if that's... Yeah. The recon slot...
Why did they come up with generic symbols just out of interest?
I know. They're all Marines. It's a bit annoying. The recon slots have to be Vorax, and then your fast attacks is a Vulturax. That's an interesting little bit of cybernetica.
Bit of mechanica that you can add to your Knights list.
Yeah. So if you want your Knights, then you want... Or you can have your little bits of Solar Auxilia running around to secure the ground as the Knights have just smashed up everything away.
Or both on the ships.
Yeah. So...
Nice.
Yeah, or both.
I like that.
There really is no limit.
I'll give them that. That is quite themey. The only problem I can see is... Oh my God, what rule book's that in? So you're going to have to carry the rule book for the Mechanicum, the rule book for the Solar Auxilia, the rule book for the Knights.
But again,
the general rule book.
That's if you're taking a real soup list. But I think the thing with Heresy is soup fits the theme.
Agreed.
It's not.
Yeah.
But again, it's your choice. I personally hoping for EPUBs. I was saying to Chris earlier, if they don't give me EPUBs, I'm going to be perfectly honest, Games Workshop, and I know this is probably going to count us out of ever getting any free stuff. I'll get a PDF. I'll buy the book, but I'm going to use a
in
PDF.
10 years they gave us loads of free stuff anyway, Mr. B. So you make yourself out, mate.
I know, but for me, it's a case of I don't want to be carrying around all these books if I want the soup list.
No one, as I said, I don't think there's a miniatures company out there that doesn't.
Yeah. I want the EPUBs, and I will buy every single EPUB if you put out. I'm the shill when it comes to that.
The publications are, digital anyway when they go to the printers these days, so it's not like it's a big stretch to them.
I get why they are reluctant. I said it earlier in the show, because piracy in this hobby is rife when it comes to the books. And unfortunately it is. And that's why when it comes to 40k, they don't give out the EPUBs anymore, because it's the bigger seller. They get a code that uses in the app. And to be fair, the 40k app is actually really good. So,
I did wonder if they are going to do an app for this. Probably not.
It would be nice, but I think it would be complicated. But I would personally prefer to have EPUBs, because I can use a program like New Recruit or Quartermaster to get my list up that I can just refer to stuff. And then I've got my ebook if I want to go and look at the rules properly.
Okay.
So I like the idea of having a quick reference. But there we go.
So what's people's thoughts? That's actually quite interesting. It does require some thought. I think I'll probably just be defaulting to my Marines or my Soldier or my Mechanica and not souping it up, but just because it's going to be a hassle to transport it. But it's quite tempting.
But you've got the option.
Make something quite cool.
And I think it lends itself to a lot more narrative gaming as well.
Yeah, I think you can have some fun with it. I think.
But I think there will be people who exploit the living bejesus out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to see
any game system will do that. I still play 40k. I enjoy 40k, but there are no restrictions on what you can take, and you can see some absolutely god-awful lists of people just taking an absolute list of, I'm just taking this tank, this tank, this tank, this tank, and it's silly. I like the idea that there's some guidelines. No.
Actually, weirdly enough, I saw a photo of my list the other day. We Facebook or whatever.
Memories.
10 years ago you were doing this or whatever it was. It was my trip to wasn't Stockport's, to do that GTA tournament with my.
Oh God! Was it Marines, Eldar, and Tau or something? No, it was Marines and Tau.
And Eldar.
Oh, Eldar. And they were using Guide and whatever.
Yeah. Well, no, I had 3 of the thingammy tanks, whatever they were called. The grav tanks. No, the actual tanks.
Yeah.
What are they called?
Prisms? No. Oh, wave serpents? No,
Falcon grav
tanks. Yeah.
3 of them and some fire, whatever they are, the ones with the melter guns.
Oh, fire
allied with Marines. And they were iron hands as well, because they had the best. You could get a Lord Smash Face with a re-rollable 2+.
Yeah,
which didn't help me, because I remember I rolled 1 and then 1.
The thing is, Chris, I remember him coming back from that. We were at Raiders the week after.
Let me tell you, one time he came down here when I was living in Brighton. We played a casual game. He rocked up with
casual.
No such thing.
No, clearly not. He rocked up with
one and only TikTok
40k list.
Oh, I did. That was
all bolters and some
banners,
nonsense banners, and I think maybe 2 turns the game was done, because
no.
Oh yeah, you had your
the
Imperial Guard.
I have my Imperial Fist.
This entire podcast is thanks to that event at Sanctuary Gaming Centre. That was it.
That's it.
Because you came back to that, you went to Raiders the Tuesday afterwards, and you were absolutely shell shocked. You were playing a game with Christian, and you were just trying to explain how your filthy list, your filthy, awful list, which dominated us locally, you were absolutely wiped the floor with by. Sorry, you were really good. You took a few losses, but you were up there, and you were absolutely horrified by what you'd seen.
Yeah, it was like a road to Damascus moment, if I'm completely truthful.
Yeah, it was like sunken eyes and shell shock and
intervention.
It was like, I'm not doing this anymore. It's just nonsense.
Unfortunately, 40k still is like that. It's still terrible for that. It's a fun game, but I'm not involved. I don't want to do high end.
I mean, you say that. I mean, but I'll give you an example of where I realised. I think there was one very key moment. So in the second game that I played this guy, and I read the mission, which meant that I went first in this particular mission. And he set his thing up, and then he went, "Oh," I was like, "Well, that's weird. I don't know why he set it up like that, because basically I'm just going to shoot him off the board." And then he went, "Okay, so I'll start." And I was like, "Whoa, there! I get turn one." And he was like, "No, no, no." I said, "Yeah, turn one. Here it is. Look, in black and white on the thing." Oh, that's a shame. Do you? And then he was got sort of, "Well, do you mind if I redeploy everything because it's turn one?" Then me, being the mug that I am, went, "Yeah, go on. That's fine. No problem." And then he proceeded to be the most gamey player known to man after that. Literally, arguing about a 0.5 of an inch charge and stuff like that. And I was like, I should have just said, "No, mate. Your fault. Should have read the rules." But anyway, competitive 40k is there's a lot of people who I think play Heresy who are refugees from that scene.
Yep. But let's never go back there. And yes, we're going to get some people who are going to try and build the superiest horrible list. But you know what? Locally, I don't know about you, Graham, but you just don't play them.
You can do that now. You can do that now anyway, right? You can. You can put 30 las cannons in an army and nobody could do anything about that.
Yeah.
Well,
you will bat an eyelid.
The augury scanner rule. Just
I was wondering have they got rid of that as a thing?
So the augury scanner still exists. It doesn't allow you to do a reaction for free. So augury scanners allow attacks to ignore shrouded damage mitigation tests. When a shooting attack made by a unit that includes any models with the augury scanner inflicts any hits, excluding hits from excluding or including?
Could be either.
Could be either. I think it's excluding hits from attacks made as snapshots. Shrouded damage mitigation rolls cannot be made against those hits.
Yeah, so no augury scanner intercepts. So your one unit coming in as deep strike might survive, Chris.
Might survive.
Yeah. Now, as for what we know is coming future-wise, summary this up. We've got PDFs coming with the legacies and talons this month. Please be Sunday, otherwise Chris is going to shout and scream like a toddler.
It's not Saturday, 10 o'clock. I mean, how hard is it?
No.
Upload that to a website.
Friday, 11 o'clock, when they become available to pick up from stores in New Zealand.
Oh yeah, that's the key.
Militia,
New Zealand.
Militia
I've said it before. I'll say it again.
Yeah, Militia come in August. Demons of the Ruinstorm and Legion Inducti in September. Black Shields October. Shattered Legions in October, and Zone Mortalis in November. We've got more journals coming, and we've got new miniatures that we know of. We've got a Mark II Assault Squad, heavy chain. Did you see heavy chain axes an our thing?
No.
Big heavy chain axes an our thing.
So with a heavy chain sword, so I'm not
now they've got a heavy chain axe. We know breaches are coming. Now, Gareth is absolutely convinced that it's an upgrade kit to the Mark III. I don't know.
I can see it being an upgrade kit to the Mark II.
Breaches. No, breaches Mark III. And this breacher on the screen here is wearing Mark III. It's just this pose is too generic for me to say if that is a Mark III breacher from the current kit. But he's got a new helmet. But basically, this kit's going to need two new arms, a new shield, a bolter, and he's got a new head. So I personally think it's going to be new kit, but who knows? Hopefully, it's got Volkite.
I think if it's that amount of stuff, it's a new kit, isn't it?
I think so.
The body, Okay.
And we've got the Fellblade. There's also something coming for the Mechanicum and the Custodes. Hopefully, we got a preview, by the way, on Friday, 18th, at 6 p.m., I think it is, or was it 7 p.m.? There's a preview. Horus Heresy is on there. So hopefully we'll see something. Because we know there's a Cataphractii coming, because he's got a picture here of a Cataphractii holding a Volkite.
Okay.
I've heard someone say, I think that it's an upgrade kit. Sorry, not an upgrade kit. It's an extra sprue in the box. So it's a sprue with a few extra options on it in the box.
Mm.
Because
Volkite's very good because I think the Volkite charges are assault, and I think if I've got this right, assault weapons also, when you volley fire, use your full ballistic skill. So they're making a big
yeah.
Thing.
Yeah. And then we know there's something Custodes coming because they've given us a show off of a model. But it looks like a really normal kind of Guardian Spear. So I'm wondering if maybe this is just female models.
Oh, God. Amongst the pigeons.
Just a box of female Custodes.
Just to really please everybody. Magnificent. Okay. So what do people think overall then? I would say with trepidation, not really assuaged by this, but there's some interesting things in there. But it is going to take time to get my head around it all.
I think I like the idea of the core rules. I think they're narrative. I think they're interesting. I think this is the biggest change to this rule set since 1998.
Agreed.
It's going to take a long while to get used to, but I like the idea of the core rules. The army list for the Space Marines, I'm not going to lie, from what I've seen of what we've got, not liking some of it because there's a lot of options being lost. Will the legacies fix it? I don't know. But we haven't seen them.
I
so
doubt
it's hard. I doubt it, but I point this out a few other places. Death Watch was yeeted as an army. They took the Death Watch out of 40k and they went, go, we don't want you anymore. You're not an army. You're a few models that you can take with an Imperial Agent army. And then everybody was all like, no, I want my Death Watch back, even though I've never seen them played as an army. And they brought out a PDF, which was just slightly changed of the old one. It's a new army. It's now a free downloadable army you can take.
But
and the backlash to that has not been anywhere near as much as this one. People are angry, and I think they will respond, whether it's to put two fingers up at us and go, or whether it's, okay, we've listened, here's some PDFs to help you deal with that. I don't know.
The feeling I get from this edition, I think last edition was, as you said earlier, a halfway house. Yep. This one feels like the one where they went, yeah, if we don't make it, it doesn't exist. And
as much as we wish it wasn't a thing, unfortunately, due to certain legal issues, it is a thing.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, you're still going to give Blood Angels Elastis assault cannons on other units, but you're not going to do them on Angels Tears because you don't make enough the model for them. Yeah. You're not going to then release them as a legacies document. I wouldn't have thought. It doesn't make sense.
It feels like an almost like a move against things like 3D printers and third parties. But I think they don't realize that if people are going to 3D print a model, they're not necessarily going to 3D print a model just for one weapon. A lot of people who are into 3D printing are going to 3D print their entire army.
Yeah, but you can take revenue away from Etsy and places like that by saying, you're the Angels. I'm going to use the Angels Tears because they're the only one that I know of that is.
Yeah. There's no other way to get those things.
There's no way to get those things other than that.
Other than the
third party.
Oh, yeah.
So do you know what we're going to do is we're just not going to make it a thing because then that product doesn't exist anymore, and that's revenue we're not losing out on because
even though they would have sold the models in the first place.
I definitely feel like the community's overreacted a little bit, but at the same time, they have
pretty venomous out there.
They have genuine. I think they have a genuine grievance. But then again,
I'd like to have a grievance, to be honest with you.
I don't think I've not. No one's been gushing about this edition,
except the reviewers.
Except reviewers who got the stuff early.
Well, even so, I mean, like the Goonhammer one was, the rules are complicated.
I thought those was very even-handed. Actually,
I thought it was a very even-handed. I think they were trying to say, it's complicated, but it is good. But it's a mess, but it's good. A mess.
Yeah, but it's a mess but it's good as not being like everyone go and play this game. It's
No,
But I actually think they were really positive about it. I think they were just sort of like, I don't know. It just seemed like they were very positive about the whole thing. But
I thought they were sort of reading between the lines. There was a sort of subtle inference there, which was, this is going to be difficult to transition. I don't think it was as.
There may be an edition change that hasn't been a difficult transition.
Yeah, I agree.
I've been playing since 2nd edition fantasy, and every single time there's a codex or an army book or a new transition, everybody kicks off.
Yeah.
Some more than others, and some kickoffs are bigger than others, but sometimes it's genuinely deserving that the Games Workshop needs to get told off and said, this is crap.
Yeah.
But I think until we see what happens with the new documents, I think we can't make a full judgment. For all we know, it's going to come out and let's go, right, these units can take this war gear.
Mm.
But I tell you what,
plastic Fellblade, though. That's
plastic Fellblade. I tell you what, though, Chris, if you're playing me and you've got your Angel's Tears with your elastic assault cannons, we know how much an elastic assault cannon costs. Just put it in your unit costs. I'm fine with it.
I'm not, but yeah.
You never would be. No, in all seriousness,
I would expect anything else.
We know what the equipment costs. If people have got those models, I'm perfectly happy to pay them as long as they pay the cost.
Communism, he's talking again.
Look, sometimes the community needs to step in and fix stuff. I remember a Usenet document about lizard men from like the mid-90s that fixed certain rules that I can't, or explained something. I can't remember what it was. It was stupid.
Well, I thought you were talking about David Icke then for a minute. I was like, what the hell? This has taken a turn.
No,
talking about the lizard men. Right, the army lizard men.
Yeah, the army lizard men. No, yeah.
I was like, you're blaming the lizard men for this conspiracy to net.
Yes, it is clearly. David Icke is on the right. It's lizard men who are responsible for this.
David who?
Is it Icke? Or no? I can't remember. Icke, yeah. Look, to be honest, I don't give a rat's arse about the man. He's an idiot.
All the lizard men. Yeah.
All the lizard men.
All right. Shall we go on to the close then, guys?
Let's do that.
Because I don't know about you, but it might be cool to have a bit of a game after this.
I'm too tired.
2 minutes past 11.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That is not going to happen. What's that?
Chris, I know you can't hear me in the close, but I was laughing my head off at your
It's a little book.
Yeah, I was.
I'd like to choose a book relevant to the conversation that we're having.
And for those of you at home watching in black and white, go to YouTube basically, and you'll be able to see the what is Edgy, the manatee space marine, reading this month.
He is reading How to Deal with Change.
For dummies.
It's a proper book. I go on Amazon, I look for a particular thing, and then I steal its cover and I make the manatee read it.
There we go. Very good. With Aunt Sally and Wurzel
Gummidge sitting in bed reading How to Change with the change with Chaos Fate Weaver hanging over the above bed artwork. Yeah, and every episode is different. Such
amount of work and ethic for the 7 people that will go to our YouTube channel.
The one that no one will ever see, which was last month's one, was dealing with a dummy's guide to dealing with anger. I think it was with Angron above. So yeah.
All right,
just these little things like that.
Go to YouTube.
Yeah, watch us on YouTube. It's fun. Right, let's do this thing. You've heard this 1,000 times. You're going to hear it 1,001 times. Please leave us some reviews on iTunes. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, especially YouTube. Links are in the show notes if you're still listening on Longwave. Please give our Facebook page a like too, or Instagram, or the other things. If it's got Edge of Empire and has a manatee adjacent image to it, just whack a like button on it. That's all you got to do. Nothing more complicated than that. Just like, follow, subscribe, whatever it is. If you want to get in touch with us, you can post on our Facebook wall or send a message to that account. Email us at info@edgeofempire.co.uk. If you want to help out the show, we have an affiliate link with Audible, so you can sign up to get your Horus Heresy audiobooks through them with a month's free trial. And after that, it's $7.99 a month for an audiobook. And all the Heresy books are on there for you to listen with the dulcet tones, mostly of, oh my God, his name just literally bounced out my brain.
Jonathan Keeble.
Like, Jonathan Keeble, that's it. I was like, I know who it was, and then just gone. It's mostly him. I think there's one or two of the other ones where it's not him. But anyway, you can also become a patron of the show and put a couple of dollars in our tip jar, which we are grateful. And there is also the mysterious Ko-fi, which we keep talking about and no one understands. But that's just generally how this show is. We keep talking about stuff no one understands. You can also help us out by going through the advert on our website to purchase your wargaming toys through Element Games. We also have Element Crystal codes, which means when you put it into the code section, you get double the amount of crystals, and we get a little backhander for a normal amount of crystals. Mine, for those of you listening, is CHR211. Graham's is GRA2794. Michael's is MIC440. And if you're watching on YouTube, at the end of the show, when we say thank you to the patrons, up to the side there is the code, so you can, if you miss it audibly, it's still there for you. We also have an affiliate link with the Outpost, which is a friendly little gaming store in Sheffield, and we don't have an affiliate link with every friendly local gaming store in the country, but if there's one near you, go and check it out. I recently discovered that the village I live in has a modern train shop. Which,
no, is it the one by Ford?
There's Ford, which is Gauge Master, but literally in the village behind the co-op is a model train shop.
Goodness.
Which
it's a hotbed of model trains down there, isn't it?
It absolutely is.
I think it's Pete Waterman and or Rod Stewart have both shopped at that one in
I imagine they have. Gauge Master is pretty cool, and it is a big deal. Yeah. I think it's like the leading supplier in the country of.
Yeah. So what has the model train shops got to do with, or is it just the fact it's model trains? And it's
just model trains, and it's a friendly local gaming store in a way.
Are they selling gaming stuff? Are they selling your paints and stuff? Ah, brilliant.
Yeah. So yes, make sure you check out. Just Google gaming stores near me, and I'm sure something will turn up.
To be fair, Games Workshop are actually pretty good at this. If you look at their store finder, it'll list their stores first, but then it starts listing all of their local stockists.
Oh, nice.
Help out Jeff down the road. Metaphorical Jeff down the road.
Yeah.
Right, that's it. Who knows what we're going to be talking about next month? Third edition will be out. I'll have a PDF that I'll be absolutely steaming with joy and excitement about.
It's going to be the best.
Graham had an idea for a list challenge, which was the worst list you can think of. As in the dirty.
Start as we mean to go on. Yeah.
Well,
let's give it the full soup.
I think that's the best way to go. Let's just lay out our cards straight off the bat.
Out the gate with a full
worst list we can come up with at release.
Yeah. Just to say, actually, before we go, the event that Michael and I went to, which unfortunately we'll never report on now, which was very good, by the way.
I think we will do eventually. We'll get a thing and we'll do that because it's nice.
It was really good. It was an excellent event. But there was somebody at that who came on and said, "Thank you for the podcast." They've obviously been a keen listener, and it was like, "Oh, it's really weird speaking to you after listening to you on the thing." But whoever that was, and I didn't catch your name, I'm so sorry. But thank you for that lovely feedback. So yeah, it is nice. Even if Games Workshop won't recognise us, our public will.
Do you remember Monty with his orange Solar Auxilia?
Vaguely.
He's one of the guys working on the new recruit data.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, there you go. Goodness me.
Yeah. Calling them out.
Cool
okay.
Stuff.
Right. I guess night.
That's it.
Good night. Have fun and be safe out there because it's pretty toxic in some places of the internet. And you don't want to get pulled into that. Trust me.
No. And just wait for a 3 weeks' time and we record again, and there'll be plenty, I expect, of toxicity.
There will be plentiful to go round for everybody. Don't you worry.
You never know. We might turn into a BattleTech podcast or Trench Crusade. Who knows?
Let's just go back and listen to any of the other times that I've had a Custodes rule list.
Oh God, please! Yeah,
we did play Bolt Action the other day, so there's always that.
We did. That was a lot of fun.
That was good fun. Right.
Yeah.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
folks. Have a lovely month.
Love and snuggles.